More stories.
I will say I was with you, Trent. I said it to my wife openly in the first quarter. I said, they're going to lose this damn game, aren't they?
I mean, it went from 0 to 100 once they kicked it in, for a doubt, but it was for a whole quarter there. An entire quarter.
It's 25% of a game.
I understand, but by the time I read the text, it was 7-0. I mean, seriously, I'm like, wow, he just sent the text. I read it. It's like, well, what's he talking about?
I threw in the qualifier. I said
the Pistons score, though, was when it was 16. And David, you must have seen that at the exact same time I did, because I'm literally about to type it, and you've already sent 2 texts on it. I was laughing.
Yeah, I'm going to get those all year. I'm aware.
Well,
I'm prepared for it.
Listen, they may not win. I mean, geez. It's not that they're losing. I mean, they're not competitive. They're not competitive early.
So.
Golly.
Oh.
Did you watch? Here's the question. Did you watch either of those basketball games?
No, I didn't. All football this weekend. I watched Michigan State mollywop Baylor. That was great.
And they did mollywop Baylor.
What was it, 17 points at the half?
Yeah.
The heck?
Well, you know, I just remember I texted you guys with that stat of Michigan State has now won as many games as the Pistons have in that building this year. It's just ridiculous.
Morning, Paul, Ambient, Baby Jules.
Go Lions, Ambient. Go Lions.
Oh,
yeah, try to rain on your parade.
I don't even care. I'm not even sorry about it. You've seen your team win the last game.
Yep, you have. A couple times.
I don't know if he's old enough for a couple of times.
Okay.
But definitely recently enough. Coffin ball. Morning. Nope, only the one time. Got it. Oh, but Ambient, what were you? 14, 15 when they won? No, it's when Mark saw his Tigers win. Well, Stumpy, they both have the same resume. They'll both have a chance to prove otherwise. Dallas lost to Arizona. Miami lost to Tennessee. They both have their hiccup.
But Dallas beat Philadelphia. Who did Miami beat?
Yeah.
It's
a good
not trying to be a jerk here.
Right.
You're just asking the questions.
Steve, AJC. Look at Stumpy coming right out of the chute on a Monday.
Double we out of Ambient there.
Well, he said he's 23. So,
yeah, it's we.
He's still wearing jerseys. I mean, the whole thing.
It's always we.
Here we go. According to Mark, the only team you're allowed to say we about is Michigan State. That's because you got the diploma on the wall.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you're playing for another team that we're unaware of. And if so, can you book a guest?
Hey, I heard Matt Patricia is calling plays tonight for the Eagles. So
I know.
Good luck.
I told them
Hawks
all
by 30.
I told them all in the production meeting. I go, have you seen what the Lions fans are saying on social? They are loving this. Okay. Lions fans think this is the biggest joke in the world.
It's hilarious. And look, the Eagles are good. Their defense is not good. So I'm very curious to see how this goes.
It's not good right now. We'll see if they can figure it out.
Okay, here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this final Monday before Christmas. The big fellas beginning to stretch out in the bullpen. How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. I come at you from Seattle, the home of Monday Night Football tonight. Eagles and Seahawks. Got a lot going on with that game, but we got a lot to get to first. Mark, first off, top of the morning. So, yeah, how are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better weekend, David. Was supposed to have a travel soccer tournament. They canceled it because of the weather. We really didn't get any weather, and I was able to sit home and watch football all damn weekend long. It was glorious. I took 2 different naps, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. They were both fantastic.
That's outstanding. I hope you can hear my applause here. That's, that's one of those applauses that follows you from green to tea. Okay, there you go. You're walking through the crowd. Just thank you very much. Yes.
Couple of high fives, couple of low fives.
Fist bump. Yeah,
Yep.
There you go. Well done. Outstanding. Did you enjoy the football that you watched, or
Yes.
did you watch it as opposed to, spending time with your family?
No, I enjoyed the football I watched. I mean, there were, the 1 o'clock, got a couple of overtime games yesterday. Saturday was solid. No, it was a good, solid football weekend.
I did not watch any of the bowl games on Saturday, and not intentionally. It's not like I'm not going to watch the games. I mean, it was just, it's not doing it for me.
I had the second TV on the Cure Bowl, the App State Miami of Ohio game, I believe.
Right.
And it was a monsoon. Nobody looked more miserable than the players in that game. It rained sideways for 3 hours.
Do you think like late third quarter, they're standing there during the TV timeout going, so we played all season for this, huh?
Whew.
But it wasn't a bowl game, but it was a playoff game. I mean, I did watch a little Montana, North Dakota State.
Had a little of that on myself. That was a tremendous game. Went to overtime.
Yep. And the Grizzlies knock off the Bison, and they'll play South Dakota State for the national title. South Dakota State looking to go back-to-back. But, man, we had some comebacks. At first, home teams did well this weekend in the NFL. They went 10-5, including sweeping Saturday. The Bengals comeback. I mean, I was thinking of Trent, our diehard Lions fan on the show. He had to be loving that. That looked like a Minnesota win for the longest time. That was going to make things in the NFC North very interesting. And then Jake Browning said, wait, I got Joe Burrow as a teammate. Okay, if I just fist bump him, do I get that clutch gene? Here. Thanks. The Bengals come back and win. Big field goal at the gun. We had another one of those between Houston and Tennessee. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I was going to say, David, to me, you buried the lead because the Bucs were impressive in that win against Green Bay yesterday. Baker Mayfield did something that no other quarterback has ever done. A road quarterback with a perfect QB rating at Lambeau.
I think he really likes having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin as his wide receivers. I think he says, I didn't have guys like you in Cleveland. And goodness knows, Carolina and Cooper Kupp was out with the Rams when they picked me up, and I didn't even know the plays. I mean, I've never had guys like you. I mean, not since Oklahoma, anyway. And if you guys don't mind, I'd really like to stick a while and throw the ball to you two. Is that okay? That's 3 wins in a row for the Bucs. I mean, we're ready to fire Todd Bowles. We're making changes. They're picking 7th or something like that in the draft.
And now they're
It's-
looking like they're going to host a playoff game, David.
And if it's the Cowboys after the way they looked yesterday, well, hell, bring them on. It's a funny league, isn't it?
Although I don't see Tampa running the ball 39 times
No.
for 260 yards on Dallas. That's just me.
No, I will say these styles make a fight, and Tampa Bay's style is not exactly the fight.
No,
you
but who
want
saw
against Dallas.
Buffalo giving the ball to their backs 30 plus times and running for 260 yards? That's not what the Bills do.
No,
That's not who they are.
no.
And they said, we're going to lean into you and we're going to run it. And then we're going to tell you we're going to run it again and again and again and again.
Yeah. Another first down. Take that.
Alabama fans tuned in for a little while and went, what the hell is that? Run the damn ball, Buffalo.
I thought I was watching Nebraska and Oklahoma in the days of the Big 8 again. I'm like, for goodness, are the Cowboys Kansas State? Well, they share similar colors. Man. But how about them Bucks? That's 3 in a row. Baker, nearly 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. All of a sudden, I never get a text from Mark Miller on NFL Sunday. Ever. All of a sudden, I get this text. That is a damn impressive road win by Tampa Bay.
Wasn't it, though?
Yeah.
You know, a
Yes.
few very intelligent guests on your show, Roy Cummings. I forget if Pat Kerwin called it.
No, I don't
But
think he did.
A few people
Roy
saw
had
this
it.
coming.
Lee had it. And
That's right. Lee had it.
And you had it, Trent.
Well, that's just another day in the office for me over here. So I can't pick up.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we shared all the text of him panicking over his Detroit sports teams, it would kill his credibility. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna throw him a solid there. We're gonna let him have it.
That's the joke.
But yes, Lee Sterling and Roy Cummings, they both called Tampa Bay's win. And when they did, and they owned the tiebreaker with the Saints because they beat them head-to-head in New Orleans. They're going to play again in 2 weeks in Tampa. Could be for the South. Hey, listen. I mean, none of us think they're going to do anything, but that would be making the playoffs 4 years in a row. I think the franchise has only done that one other time. I mean, it was part of the whole when Brady chose Tampa Bay. I mean, they were the losingest franchise in North American sports since their inception in 1976. They have a chance now to go to the playoffs for the 4th time in a row. They have a chance to win the division for the 3rd time in a row. I don't think they've ever done that. I mean, that's worth a how about that?
It is. And that win surprised me. The way that they played, the way they went about their business yesterday. And you talked about Evans and Godwin had a monster game.
Yes.
But Rashad White had his buck 30 combo again.
Yep.
80 yards on the ground, 4 carry. When they needed him at the end of the game, they were able to get first downs running the football.
Boy, Green Bay's defense the last 2 weeks. Didn't get a sack against the Giants in that offensive line. Couldn't get a stop when they needed it. And didn't stop Tampa Bay worth a darn yesterday. What happened to that defense? By the way, where's Rashawn Gary? Anybody seen him? Gave him a lot of money. Just curious. But so the Bucks are 7-7, tied for first with the Saints. How about them Dolphins? Man, that escalated quickly. 2 and no Tyreek. Hell, half the offense could have stayed home. Just let the defense win the game. 103 yards of offense, the Jets, 4 turnovers. My goodness.
Running fake punts early. Just, they're bad.
Oh, I just listen.
Never
you know
has
what?
a defense been wasted quite the way the Jets wasted that defense this year.
And it's why I think the general manager really should pay for his job. There were serviceable quarterbacks, not better than that, but there were serviceable quarterbacks. And no offense, the guy and guys that you then tried to bring in, that they were not serviceable. I mean, Joe Flacco's not perfect. He threw 3 interceptions yesterday, but with the game on the line, he made the plays. I mean, he was sitting on his couch less than a month ago. He's now won back-to-back games. I mean, your defense is in the same category as theirs. But the Dolphins are 10-4, Mark. Even with the hiccup a week ago tonight, they're 10-4. They're the 2 seed. They're leading the AFC East by 2. And yet, how many confident Dolphin fans do you know?
I wonder. I didn't know any last week. And because the Jets are such a rival to the Dolphins, and the Dolphin fan is fragile, and week to week, I think Dolphin woke up this morning in a much better mood. I think that they're glass half full right now.
Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo. Boom, boom, boom.
Hello.
And not only that, come on, Cowboys got embarrassed. What have we said? Can't embarrass a professional, or they embarrass themselves. It doesn't bode well for their next opponent. Doesn't guarantee a win, but it guarantees a certain effort and level of performance the next week.
Oh, that should be a good one.
Then I don't know what anybody saw last night, but, this Lamar Jackson guy is pretty damn good. And he's healthy. Mark, what are the Ravens when Lamar Jackson's healthy?
A 1 seed every damn time, David.
It's sure. In the last 5 years, this point of the season, when Lamar's been healthy, they've been the 1 or 2 seed 4 out of 5 years. Miller and Moulton. We have so much to chew on. Hope you had a great weekend, and thanks for starting your week off with us here on the Florida Sports Network.
Have a Molly Christmas, a Molly-made Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning preferences. Molly Maid is proud to provide thousands of families across the country with industry-leading services tailored to their specific needs. Call Molly Maid today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839. Or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Adam, you've had a lot this morning. What do you mean that's all I got? You got more than that. You are bringing it. You guys are wound up this morning.
I was just gonna say, this is entertaining.
I like it.
Here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Thanks so much for being with us. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. These are strange times, Mark. All three Florida NFL teams are in first place. Now, two of them are tied, but they own the tiebreakers right now. I mean, here we are. It's the week leading up to Christmas. All three Florida NFL teams are in first place. And yet, all three fan bases are not giddy.
Yeah, which fan base in Florida is the most excited right now? I'd say it's the Dolphins, and they're also the most nervous.
It's that Buffalo thing.
It is.
They got a thing, and Buffalo's their daddy, and that's the problem. Dolphin fans, I think, would have been more confident of beating the Patriots in the last 20 years than the Bills, because bad Dolphins teams beat Brady and the Patriots at home. I mean, the Dolphins did surprisingly well during the great dynasty that the Patriots had at home against them. I mean, hell, they had a 4-12 team beat a 14-2 team one year at home, wearing orange jerseys too. Hideous. And they beat them. But this Josh Allen Buffalo thing, oh boy. Oh boy. Dolphins like, yeah, I don't know if we have anything for them. Even the one time we beat them, we were lucky as hell. They ran 173 plays. We ran 4.
And then all of a sudden, what did they do yesterday? The Bills ran the football. They showed you another element.
Right. Josh Allen said, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to hand it off, or I'm just going to keep it. There you go. I have a bet with a buddy of mine. I bet you can't beat the Cowboys for throwing less than 100 yards. Bet you we can. So that's why it's a Dallas, Baltimore, whatever. It's the Buffalo one. There you go at the end. That it could be for the AFC East, and then deep down, I don't know many Dolphins fans that think that they can win that game. They don't know that they're better than them until they beat them. So that's the problem, and they don't think they're going to win the next 2 weeks and clinch the AFC East before they play them. So they're like, holy blank, we're going to have to beat the Bills to win the East. Oh, boy.
I'll tell you right now, that game will not be for the AFC East. The Dolphins will have already clinched the division.
Whoa! Look at you. What are you, fired up reading the Twitch chat room? They are fired up this morning.
I didn't read a thing they said. I was busy during the last commercial break. I'm telling you right now, the Dolphins will take care of business before the final game of the season.
Wait a minute. So you think Miami's going to do this on their own?
Yes.
So you think Buffalo's going to keep winning and it's not going to matter?
There you go.
You probably didn't feel that way a week ago, but yesterday must have impressed you.
I just think they can get one of the next 2.
Yeah, but that's not enough. If Buffalo keeps winning. If Buffalo wins their last 2, they're 10-6. Miami wins one of their next 2, they're 11-5. Okay, Miami's got to beat Buffalo. Buffalo beats them, they'll be tied. Buffalo will have swept them. That's the problem for the Dolphins. The loss to Tennessee brought them back in. Buffalo's still out right now. That's the funny thing, Doll fans. Okay, the team that you're most scared of right now is not in the playoffs.
And they're not losing, though.
That's
They're not
rough.
losing to the Chargers, and they're not losing to the Patriots.
Right. It kind of is lining up for them. They went through the hard part, you know. I mean, you have to admit they did just have Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys back to back to back, lost in overtime in a game in which they controlled 1-1. So the Bills are standing there with their hands on their hips, looking at the Dolphins going, we had our 3-game gauntlet. You're just beginning yours. Good luck with that.
They're going to get Dallas, they're going to get Baltimore, and they're going to play Buffalo with house money.
Is
We'll
Dallas gonna
say
lose
for the
3 in a row?
Ravens. What, Trent?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to derail the conversation. I'm saying,
No.
are the Dallas Cowboys going to lose 3 in a row?
Well, it's possible. I mean, because, we've been pointing out Miami's 3-game stretch.
Right.
We pointed out Philadelphia's 5-game stretch, which ends tonight in Seattle.
That would only be 2 in a row, though, if they lose to the Dolphins.
You know where
For the
I'm going with
Cowboys.
this.
No. I was merely talking about the Dolphins here.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Right.
just making sure.
Right.
Who's that third game against for Dallas?
I couldn't tell you.
For those who want to play at home with the board game, Dallas is hosting Detroit in that third game.
Keyword hosting.
Where they're unbeaten.
Just in, they're really good at home.
Yes. They're the only unbeaten team at home, in fact, in the league. So, look at you, though. So, you're a believer then.
I am.
What in the world? A week ago tonight, they lost to the Titans. What's
I know.
made you a believer? They played the Jets, for goodness sakes.
Exactly, and they needed a game. They know Tyreek. He was able to get healthy. They were able to win without him playing. That's big. Sometimes you need to rest a guy or two and get through a game, and they were able to do that. They were able to.
Tua very efficient, also 21-24. I mean, listen, Tyreek, we're going to do a little differently today. First off, I'm going to throw the ball to Waddle. Don't get upset. And secondly, I'm going to complete about 88% of my passes.
You see who didn't get upset yesterday afternoon at all? Diggs never once yelled at anybody. Josh Allen threw the ball 6 times.
Or so it seemed. Well, he just wanted to have bragging rights over his brother, even though his brother's not playing. Just wanted to be able to walk over for the handshake afterwards and go, don't mess with us, man. Or maybe we'll see you again. That was my preseason Super Bowl right there. Buffalo and Dallas.
And you picked?
I picked Buffalo. I picked Buffalo to end the jinx, the curse, the whatever.
So you had Jaguars and Lions as the 1 seeds, and then neither of them making the Super Bowl.
I had both of them losing first playoff games. Yes.
Okay.
I had them both being the ones and then both getting beat.
And I tell you, when the Rams come into Detroit
Oh my God.
in that 3-6 game and Stafford throws for 420 yards as the Rams beat Detroit,
Oh.
and he walks out waving his finger,
Oh.
it's coming.
You're killing me.
It's coming.
And the reason it's killing me is because I've already thought about this, and I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I think that might be the matchup we get. And if that's the matchup we get,
A lot of fun scenarios coming up in the playoffs.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And a little bit of separation, a little bit in the AFC. Had to. I mean, you had all the 7 and 6 teams playing each other. I mean, you got to get some separation at some point, right? So, little separation in both conferences. Some big losses yesterday that you wonder if teams are going to be able to recover from.
And some big wins. What the Browns did with Flacco coming back and beating the Bears yesterday. Really big win for the Cleveland Browns.
I thought they were done. I did. I mean, Bears are in control. You know, there's midway through the fourth, they got the ball. I'm like, wow, Cleveland's in trouble here. And to win in regulation, wow. Hey, this just in, by the way, if you're the Bears, how about covering Amari Cooper?
How about tackling Amari Cooper?
How about, 3 minutes to go in the game? You're up by a touchdown. Who do you think they're going to throw it to? Huh? Ozzie Newsome?
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Have a Molly Christmas, a Molly-made Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning preferences. Molly Maid is proud to provide thousands of families across the country with industry-leading services tailored to their specific needs. Call Molly Maid today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. So we have a cat from hell. I go to take the garbage out or take something out yesterday, and I'd left a bag of tortilla chips on the kitchen counter that my wife and I were just munching on, and I just left them out there. I go to the garage, come back. The cat is in the chips.
Oh, my goodness.
He pulls the cat out of the chips. The cat has got one corn chip in its mouth while she's got the scruff of his neck holding it, and the cat doesn't. And does it without it is eating. Just moves it up with the neck, like shimmering the neck up to eat the chip. It's one of the most impressive eating things I've ever seen in my life, David.
That's one of those you almost want that on video.
Yes. That would have been that. Yes.
Ambient, that's cute that you still think that the Broncos are going to make the playoffs. That's cute. That's admirable. Trying to spin it. You're like, well, if we win our last 3, we'll go 10-7.
Well, they'll win next week. They'll win the following week.
All right. They're hosting the Patriots. They're hosting the Chargers. Then they're at the Raiders.
Winning out's not an impossibility.
Yeah. Yep. They said, upon further review, why don't we just end this relationship
Oh,
now?
they did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You missed that?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Friday, early afternoon, I guess. Kind of came back from lunch and was told, hey, you can go home. Forever.
Impressive basketball coach hire. They're really doing well.
They are. That's
Lost
working out.
4-6 or whatever, 3-6 Mercer, whatever they were.
Listen, I'm not kidding. They got a pressure game. I think it's Wednesday. Georgia Southern's 0 for the season. And I think Georgia Southern's playing today. They're going to lose to Wilmington because Wilmington's not bad. I think they're going to face like an 0-11 or 0-12 team.
So, not that the top plays mean anything, but I've laughed so hard. Saturday morning's 10th play was Charlie Woods making about a 15-footer.
The internet was in a frenzy over that.
Over Charlie Woods
Yes.
over him making the putter or them putting it as play 10?
Anything involving Charlie Woods, the internet loves.
Oh my gosh. Poor kid.
I know. Ever since he hugged his dad at the Masters, whenever that was, 2019, everyone's just been like all in on this kid.
Not like there's anything to live up to.
Right.
No.
Because we never set expectations so high for children of athletes.
So FGCU's 3-9. Tomorrow they're at 0-11 Georgia Southern. That's a pressure game. That's a pressure game. You got to win that.
Wow. You're right. But it's really not that much pressure because there's no AD. You're not getting fired.
Well, not mid-season, but just listen, there are a lot of people out there who want that job, and they're going to hire a search firm, and they're going to have some pretty interesting candidates for that job. You're going to have Power 5 ADs who want to retire in Southwest Florida who are going to want that job. I mean, now that doesn't mean they should hire these people, because what they need is a young, aggressive, hungry as AD.
Yes. They
There
don't
we
need
go.
to hire another
Right.
Marilyn Dean Baker.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes before the hour. Thanks for being with us. This is the final Monday before Christmas. Mark, we like to talk about spring training and the things that we enjoy most. Our favorite part of spring training is when the players are running the warning track while the games are going on.
Nothing beats a spring training game watching some guys jog the outfield.
Right. I kind of feel like now that we're a week away, that this is for the big fella. Now it's spring training. I'm trying to figure out, is today and tomorrow, is he long tossing today, or is he beginning to run the warning track in the outfield while the early season, games are being played?
I don't know, but I've got to find my inner Santa, because a few things happen, and I know you got something to do here, so I probably should hold this back.
Don't worry about it.
But something happened to me over the weekend that's happened to you a lot, and I need advice.
Okay.
Because my relationship with my wife has taken a serious turn for the worse.
Oh.
I walked in this morning. Trent said to me, "Hey, nice haircut." I said, "Thanks, Trent."
Oh, she didn't recognize you got a haircut. Hell, I even thought you got a haircut.
Very noticeable.
No, oh yeah, I hadn't had a haircut in 3 months. There was a lot of hair here.
Right,
And-
the sides are tight.
Right, and she got a haircut the 2 days after I did. That's when she found out, 'cause we go to the same place. She goes, "Oh, you got a haircut. It looks nice." I'm not kidding. When she said it to me Saturday morning, I had not yet showered. My hair was standing straight up on top. I looked like a disheveled mess. And she goes, "Oh, you got a haircut. It looks nice." And I didn't say a thing. I didn't say, "You didn't notice that haircut. You didn't even know that I got a haircut."
Nope.
We've gone 2 days without you noticing that I got 4 inches of hair taken off of my head.
Well, you made it 11 years of marriage, right? Okay. So
And,
she was
and then she pulled off the all-time topper, in which she told me a while back, hey, we've been saving, we're doing things. Let's really take it easy this Christmas.
oh, she do a bait and switch.
She sandbagged me.
Golly.
And I just said, because I hadn't got a damn thing for her yet. I plan on doing that this week. And I said, can you give me a ballpark number? You said not much of what you spent on me.
Right.
And she gave me the number, and I looked at her and I said, what the hell are you doing? Take it all back.
Oh, man.
So she didn't notice the haircut and sandbagged me on gifts.
And it's quite the dichotomy there. So, because she's not paying attention to you, obviously, anymore. Yet at the same point in time, she's showering you with gifts.
Right. I don't know what the hell to do.
I think she's having an affair.
I
think
do
that's
too.
what it means.
That's
She's
guilt.
She feels guilty. Okay. And she obviously is not paying attention to you anymore. So there must be someone else. So, don't worry about it. I mean, my guy.
I'm looking for advice from you. So,
right. I mean, my guy, I made it a few years longer than you, though. I made it to like 15 years of marriage before she stopped paying attention to me. But maybe it just took her longer to find a replacement. Your wife found one sooner. So, sorry about that.
good to know.
Yeah. So now you have to spend all this money that A, you don't have, and B, you weren't planning on spending.
Bingo.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mark.
Todd, Jason, see you boys later.
You know what? Maybe they put her up to it. Maybe they sandbagged you.
Now you're on to something. Time now for
The starting five. 5 stories you need to know. It's the starting 5 on Miller and Moulton. Here's number 1.
3 first place Florida NFL teams. Number 1, the NFL. The Dolphins held the Jets to 103 total yards and forced 4 turnovers. This just in, they won. 30-0. Raheem Mostert, 2 touchdowns. No Tyreek, no matter. Dolphins are 10-4. Been a long time since they've been 10-4, 14 games into the season. By the way, that's 14 consecutive starts for Tua. You remember we did the over-under game right before the start of the season? 13.5 is what we put the number at for Tua starts. How many you took the under? And by the way, you took it with good reason. But hey, so far it's working out for Miami. And it's working out for Tampa Bay. How about Baker Mayfield? 381 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. How about the first place Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 7-7? They've won 3 in a row. Thank you very much. Hurt the Packers' playoff chances by going to Lambeau, beating them 34-20. Boy, this just in, whether it was Brady or Baker, heading up there first in January, now December, and just, sticking a knife in your back. And then there's the Jags, who, good news, you're still in first. Bad news, 2 other teams are tied with you, and you've lost 3 in a row.
Your quarterback's in the concussion protocol, too.
Yeah, and before that, he was a mess yesterday. Just couldn't hold on to the ball. Couldn't hold on to the ball when he wasn't touched. Making dumb decisions, like at the end of the first half, you have no timeouts, you're on the 5-yard line. Oh, I don't know, throw it out of bounds. How about spiking it into the ground? How about the one thing you shouldn't do? Complete a pass in the field of play. Just an idea. I mean, I've never played the position before, but would have been on my mind. The Ravens came to town and, did what Baltimore does, show up, workmanlike effort, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Hey, Lamar, make a couple pass plays, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. 23-7 Ravens, they're 11-3. They're the 1 seed right now in the AFC. Jags do own the tiebreaker over both the Colts and the Texans, but they are now tied with both the Colts and the Texans. Did we award the division to the Jaguars?
Yes.
Did we?
Yes.
Wow. They are going to make us sweat this one out, aren't they?
Yes, they are, David.
And oh, man. And guess where Jacksonville travels to Sunday? Tampa Bay. So you got one team who's lost 3 in a row. Their quarterback's in the concussion protocol. Got the other team that's won 3 in a row, and their quarterback's probably going to win NFC Player of the Week. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns. They went to New England, beat the Patriots, and they covered 27-17. The Bears had a 7-point lead on the Browns and the ball mid-fourth quarter and managed to be the Bears and lost in regulation, which is tough to do. By the way, give up the ball with 5 minutes to go with a 7-point lead and give up 2 scores. And the defense had played well for like 2 months. Cleveland 20-17. Joe Flacco, 374 yards. He did throw 3 picks, but he was money when they needed him to be. Touchdown to Amari Cooper, and then let him into field goal range. Speaking of field goals, how about Houston? At the gun in overtime, a 54-yarder to beat Tennessee, 19-16.
They thought they had won it.
Yeah.
On a running play right before that.
Right.
Called back for holding. Have to kick the 54-yarder, and he nails it for the win.
Texans are 8-6, tied with the Jags. J.J. Watt took to Twitter afterwards and said, listen, from now on when we play for the uniforms, because the Titans wore the Oilers gear yesterday. Man, does that bother Houston. Oh, it bothers them so much.
It should.
And J.J. Watt never wore that uniform, and yet he's all bent out of shape.
It's a slap.
Those are great uniforms.
They are, but the Oilers logo at midfield,
it has to be on purpose, right? It's intentional. For Tennessee to choose to wear that against Houston. It has to be. Against
Houston. Oh, yeah, totally. They might as well have put a middle finger at midfield. Right. Yeah. Yes. I mean, that's what that oil rig stood for. Absolutely. Yeah. Carolina won. What the heck?
Wow.
Now, that's going to get a coach fired.
Yes. Well, we said it when they were playing Tampa Bay, David.
Yep.
That it was Bowles' job on the line.
Yeah, now, Mr. Smith there in Atlanta, he's in trouble. Carolina beat them 9-7. Atlanta falls to 6-8. Don't worry, Bears fans. All right, your perfect Sunday continued. Your team lost, and Carolina still owns the first overall pick, which you own. Tommy Cutlets came back down to earth. The Saints gobbled them up 24-6. Carr threw 3 touchdowns. New Orleans is 7-7, tied with Tampa Bay. However, the Bucs own the tiebreaker. Saints right now would be the odd team out at 7-7 in the NFC. They're the 8th seed right now. So right now the Saints are out. Buffalo rushed for 266 yards against the Cowboys. At one point in the second half, they came to the line of scrimmage. They actually told them where they were running. It didn't matter. 31-10 Buffalo. The game wasn't that close. Bills are 8-6. Technically, the Bills are the 9 seed right now. They're out right now. They're out. But they're going to be favored in the next 2 weeks anyway. San Francisco, Purdy threw 4 touchdowns. Now the talk is he should be MVP. Purdy, after the game, said, yeah, McCaffrey should be MVP. He does everything.
I agree with Purdy, for the record.
Okay. Well, it'd be nice for a non-quarterback to win the award, wouldn't it? 45-29 Niners are 11-3. Best record in the NFC. Rams beat the Commanders 28-20. Stafford, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Rams are technically the 7th seed this morning at 7-7. Monday Night Football tonight. Eagles. Jalen Hurts is sick. Flew on a separate plane. Questionable for the game. Geno Smith aggravated his injury in practice late in the week. I mean, could we have 2 backups tonight? It's a big game for both, especially for Seattle at 6-7. Philly's a 3-point favorite. NBA, Celtics still perfect at home. They swept Orlando over the weekend, beat them by 17 in both matchups, 114-97. Yesterday, they're 14-0 at home.
They took those games seriously.
Yes, they did.
For the record. I mean,
yes, they did.
If you paid any attention, Boston said, Orlando?
Right.
Hi.
Cute. Yeah.
We're the Boston Celtics.
Right.
This is how it's done.
Right. We're an NBA title contender. You're a playoff contender. There's a difference. The Spurs did snap their 18-game losing skid on Friday against the Lakers. The Pelicans said, yeah, we're not the Lakers. They beat them by 36 yesterday. Giannis passed Kareem on the Bucks' all-time rebounding list, and they beat Houston by 9. Phoenix was down 16 second half, came back to beat Washington. And Golden State beat Portland 118-114, but Steph had his three-pointer streak. He had made a three in 268 consecutive games until last night, but Golden State won. NHL, Caps in a shootout over the Canes. Adam Henrique, who played for the Devils for 8 years, just scored a hat trick against them yesterday. Anaheim beat them 5-1. Vancouver over Chicago 4-3. Nathan McKinnon, Mark, he's pretty good if you haven't heard of him. 2 goals, 2 assists, 6-2 over San Jose. And Vegas beat Ottawa 6-3. So Iowa State beat FAMU. Stetson lost. Women's hoops, Florida State, Florida, Stetson winners, Jacksonville a loser. We have a bowl game today. It is the famous Toastery Bowl. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't. I have no idea. It's a famous Toastery Bowl. Western Kentucky against Old Dominion. Old Dominion's
for that.
By the way, everybody's opting out and or transferring. Florida State running back Trey Benson, their leading rusher, 900 yards, 14 touchdowns. He said, yeah, I'm not playing in the Orange Bowl. I'm going pro. So both their wide receivers, Trey Benson, their top defensive lineman reserve. Georgia's got 15 guys that have already transferred. Yeah, it's a mess. Hell, the backup quarterback at Texas transferred. Didn't even wait around for the playoffs because he can't. Because if he waits around for the playoffs and practices with the team, he's got about an hour to make a decision as to where he's going to go. It's a mess. We call it college football. And at 8 minutes before the hour, that was
the Starting Five every weekday morning at this time on Miller and Moulton.
Chip Kelly had some interesting comments as to what we should do in college football. Pretty smart stuff. We'll share them with you a little bit later on in the show.
Bowl games, opt-outs. Spend days trying to figure out who's playing in these games.
Ole Miss loading up in the transfer portal, by the way. They've signed like 10 top players. Take a look at Ole Miss's schedule next year. They only have one game they're an underdog in. You know how Louisville got to the ACC championship game this year? You may want to put some money on Ole Miss for next year.
Mark Miller for Molly Maid. Why Molly Maid, you ask? Trust. Moulton was a customer for 15 years. Affordability. Didn't I just say Moulton was a customer for 15 years? Worry-free services. Our professional house cleaners are fully insured and a 24-hour warranty. Call Molly Maids today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. That's mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Worth.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best, and the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, hop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Trent, did you see my text? I just sent it to Trent.
Yes, I just saw it. Sorry. Yes, I will look for it.
It should not be hard to find. Hell, I could forward it to you. It's been everywhere.
Yeah, I'll find it.
It is I don't know if it's clear or cloudy, but because it's still nighttime here. But it's 42. And it's going to be in the 40s all day.
Well, the forecast in Pittsburgh changed. It's not supposed to rain and be 40 the day I'm going to the game anymore. I'm pretty excited about that.
Good.
That's all I really care about at this point, because if it's raining, that's misery.
Well, the Steeler fans are going to be in such a good mood that Christmas Eve, too. You're going to get Mason Rudolph at quarterback.
They'll be happier about that.
Well, they will.
Pickett is back, right?
Is he?
I'd heard them say that. Oh, we'll see.
Not that it matters. Plus, Pittsburgh has to go to Baltimore final game of the season. I mean, although it really doesn't matter with those two. Pittsburgh's won in Baltimore many times.
David, I'm transferring that audio over. So
Yeah, take your time. We're not doing it right now, but
okay,
we'll do it later.
It'll be ready whenever you need it.
Well, 7:38 would be cool.
Perfect.
We got this Molly made play of the day. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay.
Heard it's been pretty lousy lately.
Well, it's been.
Sure, it's gonna be a Michigan State highlight from Saturday.
Yeah, it's been a bunch of Detroit and Michigan highlights. Okay.
Here we go.
About the only thing lacking is a WNBA highlight.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this Monday, the final one before Christmas. Got your shopping done? How many of you haven't even started yet?
That'd be me.
For the
I
record,
should say that I kind of started.
I went Christmas shopping Saturday. I gave it a good hour to an hour and 20 minutes of effort. I did. I had a list of 2 things. I could only find one. I went, that's it. That's all she gets.
I'm in such a spot now because the wife apparently went all out for me. Now I've got to really come through. And I got to buy gifts that can travel. We're not going to be here for Christmas. This whole holiday's a mess.
I hate it when they say, hey, we've already spent a lot of money on each other this year. We're saving up for new things in 2024. All right. Don't get me anything for Christmas. And then we even say, now I'm just going to say this out loud. Tell me if I've said it. You don't want me to get you anything for Christmas. No. You've already gotten me plenty of stuff. Okay. Just give me a card. Okay. We'll go out to dinner sometime, maybe between Christmas and the New Year. Okay, honey. And then you find out, well, I was out and I saw some things and I was just thinking of you. I love you so much. It's the do I look fat in these jeans thing.
Exactly.
It really is.
The nice thing for me is no one expects anything from me because I'm broke and I just moved across the country. So
exactly right.
I'm off the
You're
hook
young,
this year.
right? You have no significant
I
other.
don't have a significant other, so that
No
kind
significant other, and you're broke. Yes, you're still in the phase in which if you show up somewhere, hell, even a FaceTime, and they're like, Trent made time for us. Hi, Trent. Yes, just enjoy these years. Enjoy them.
I want to be
Just remember this. Just remember this 25, 30 years from now when you get sandbagged by the significant other in your life.
Trust me, I learn a lot on this, but just listening to you guys talk about life experiences.
And I'm getting fabulous advice in the Twitch chat room. Buy from Amazon and ship to Pittsburgh. Here's the thing. Who uses Amazon on a daily basis? The wife.
Right.
It shows everything you order on there. I can't hide anything. The element of surprise is completely taken away unless I say, hey, honey, stay off of Amazon for the next couple of days.
Right.
Like that's going to happen.
Which tips your hand.
Nothing to see here. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, what's worse? We could put this up as a poll question over the weekend. Mark's wife didn't notice that he got a haircut. It's the first time that's happened in the relationship. He's known her like 15 years. They've been married 11. All right. Yes, it happened. It finally happened. It happens to us all, but it happened to Mark over the weekend. And then 8 minutes later, he found out he's been sandbagged for Christmas. So, yeah, that's my co-host this morning. He's fired up, needless to say. But, Mark, then there's the other end of the spectrum. Honey, she did the whole, listen, we've spent, and I was, everybody knows you listen to this show. We spent $10-12 remodeling the, condo and what have you. So, we only have about $8 left. And she's like, listen, we spent enough money on each other, but there's two things that I want. Okay. And so she tells me the one thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she tells me where to get it. Now, first off, I'm a little offended by that. It's kind of like, could you let me pick it out? But Mark, here's what's worse. She said, go to CVS. It's
Excuse
right
me?
before the pharmacy. I'm like, I'm sorry, a robe. She wanted a pink robe. Oh, okay, there's plenty of places to go for a robe. I know these, Bath and Body Works stores. I know they're in trouble, but there's, you could find one, I mean, I could go to a Target, Walmart. There's places to go. CVS?
I think you're better off at CVS than Walmart shopping for a robe. I really do.
So I did. Fine. You told me to go to CVS. I went to CVS. And I'm like, wow, this is romantic.
It
This
really is. Get the
Yeah.
chocolate and the flowers while you're there, David.
I was going to say, you want some jelly beans too? How about some spearmint? Just choose. Yeah. Exactly. Like, Victoria's Secret. No, can't go there anymore, apparently. Nope. Nothing nice, soft, and foofy. No, none of that. No. Hey, listen, there's a display on the way to the pharmacy. Okay, they've got the robes, white and pink. Get me a pink one. If you can find matching slippers, that'd be great.
Hopefully she's going to start doing the pajamas and the robe and start walking around the condo complex like that, though.
Right.
Like she's a gangster in New York City.
The only thing that's missing is like Betty Davis's voice. It's like, why don't you start smoking 3 packs a day, while you're at it? Hey, can you go get me the robe at the CVS?
Wow. I hope she's not listening right now.
No, she's not. She's not.
Good to know.
Unfortunately, she has to go to CVS a lot. That's where her mom's drugs are. So that's I'm like, I'm disturbed that you know what's at CVS. She goes, well, I'm there a lot. I go, well, that's true. All right, I'll cut you a break there. So which is worse? Your wife stopped paying attention to you this weekend and sandbagged you. Mine is saying, get our Christmas gifts at CVS.
Look, at least you're being told what to get and where to get it. I think that you're taking that completely. They're making it very easy for you.
She is, but it's got all the romance of a, pothole.
You've been married 20 years. What romance do you? I mean, come on.
You can't fake it. I mean, a little bit.
Look at David trying to get in the holiday spirit.
David desperately wants romance back in his life. If you've listened to the show for any length of time, his wife does not like jewelry.
No.
She doesn't want perfume. Chocolate she'll take. That's about it.
Right, but we couldn't forever because we had cats and dogs. The cats would jump on the counter, and the chocolate can kill a dog. So I was banned from buying chocolate. Right. Mm-hmm.
So David's just trying to get to the point where he can get a romantic gift for his wife. And a robe.
Well, because you know what a robe insinuates.
Yes. Nothing underneath it.
Exactly. I mean, eventually, a robe kind of brings Make It Happen night into play. Right. But I mean, does CVS, when you think Make It Happen night, do you think CVS?
For Trent, he does, because that's where you buy prophylactics.
Yeah, well, maybe that's how I should look at it. Go back into my 20s. Sure, honey. Anything else you want me to get? Miller and Moulton here on the Florida Sports Network. We don't know what to do with ourselves because we have 3 Florida NFL teams in first place heading into the latter part of December. this hasn't happened if ever, but we think it happened for like a brief moment in time in like 99. He was like, yeah. But otherwise, we're not used to this. I mean, come on. I mean, if we had told you at the beginning of the year, seriously, the Bucs would be in first place heading into Christmas week, and the Dolphins would be in first place by 2 games. 2 games. You would have been like, you guys are drinking the Kool-Aid. Do they have drug testing as part of the Florida Sports Network? You guys are high. You're nuts.
How nuts would we have been, though, to have all three? Because Jacksonville was supposed to win the division.
Well, right. I did. Right. And that's why, in fact, the Jags are disappointing at a mere 8-6. And both Indianapolis and Houston are a surprise.
I mean, nobody knew who was going to win the South, so picking Tampa is not that crazy in that god-awful division.
It's not that crazy, but they were like 3rd on the list. Most of us had the Saints roster being better. Some of us even liked Atlanta more than Tampa Bay.
And the Dolphins, well, that was the stretch because of the Bills, and Aaron Rodgers was still not injured at that
And by
point.
2 games. Also, they're in first by 2. They're the 2 seed, baby, with a chance to be the 1. Ravens schedule down the stretch at San Francisco, home from Miami, home from Pittsburgh. And I know what you say, Pittsburgh, it doesn't matter with those two. It just doesn't.
And I think you have to realize division games are just different. They
Especially
just are.
Those division games.
But yes, but to a certain extent, all division games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look what Washington did with the Eagles this year.
Yeah. And the year before. Yeah, they played them really tough.
I mean, Tennessee had everything there for Houston yesterday.
Carolina
beats Atlanta. Oh, what a loss for Atlanta.
9-7, mind you.
He's going to lose his job over that one.
It's a fireable offense.
I don't blame the owner if he makes that change either. The offense is holding them back. It's his offense.
And it's dreadful. And there are players on that.
They're going to go quarterback, right?
Listen, I'm serious. I know there's all this talk about trading with the Bears to bring Justin Fields back home and what have you. If I'm Atlanta, I call Kirk Cousins. With Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and the receiver, I call Kirk Cousins. The defense in Atlanta is actually not bad. All right. They need a quarterback. They would be 2-3 games better than everyone else in that division instantly if they sign Kirk Cousins. Instantly.
Just be prepared to pay him because Kirk gets paid.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what I'm doing when I'm calling him. That's a $40 million phone call minimum. I know that. Does Minnesota know that?
Do they care?
Well, they should. They've been starting Nick Mullins and Joshua Dobbs.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
So if you can set Trent up, and then the three you can go watch your boyfriend at City of Palms.
Is this Felipe?
That's Felipe's girl.
Oh, well, I'm not. Hang on, I'm not in the chat room. I gotta. What's
So
going on?
I just said she got to set you up with somebody.
Oh, I'll take it.
See? This is the first, David. We have Felipe's girlfriend in the Twitch chat room right now because he is at the City of Palms all week.
Oh, yeah, he's abandoned her for a week. Right.
He's in here.
Right.
He's off the grid.
Hi, honey. How are things? How's mom? Everything good? Hey, between us, what does he have to get you for Christmas? Okay. How big we going here?
She just wants him to quit working the City of Palms tournament.
Yeah, well, honey, he loves you, but he doesn't love you more than basketball. Okay.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
Look at Ryan, just setting me up, putting me on a butcher block. Trent is looking.
Oh, Ryan, we already know that. I knew Trent for an hour and a half. I knew he was falling in love with a Packer girl from Appleton, Wisconsin. Absolutely. And here's the kicker. He's going to meet her in Fort Myers, Florida. That's really what's going to honk him off. Okay, it's one thing if he was like seeing a buddy of his, and up there, and he met her up there.
I wish I knew someone who had who was a Packers fan, who was a really hot woman, just so I could have her hit on you, just to see what would happen.
Packers fan and hot woman is an oxymoron.
It's not true. It's that Annie Agar, that Fox Sports girl, who's beautiful.
She's a Packers.
She's
fan.
absolutely beautiful, and she's a Packers fan.
Can't stand her videos, by the way. I know I'm in the minority there.
I liked the team chats, the ones, her self ones about the Packers, but
yes,
she puts a lot out there. It can't all be good.
That's true.
I mean, she puts a lot of stuff out there.
Content creation. Who buys a cat? Felipe does.
He better be coming with more than the cat, though.
Well,
it sounds like that's all she's getting.
I will say, my then fiance said she would come and move in with me in Fargo. I didn't ask her. She said, I'm coming. I went, really? And she said, yeah, but you got to get a cat. I go, the deal's contingent on a cat. She said, yes, it is. I went, okay.
So we got a cat.
I got to admit, she must have been smitten with me. She moved out to Fargo right as winter was starting.
Yeah.
Poor Felipe. I'll keep you updated if he does, but it's Felipe. She's already basically succumbed to the fact that she's got a cat. That's what she's getting for Christmas.
Right. She's like, I love him, but I've already figured him out.
Well, I will say he's not that. He's pretty easy.
He is.
There's not a lot to figure out there.
No, there's no mystery with Felipe.
You can be very mysterious. He'll never be mysterious.
Yep. And he's a good guy with a huge heart.
Yep.
I'm sure he treats you well. The hour and a half he sees you a week, I'll bet you he's terrific. Listen, but it's good that you know now. This is unfortunately we tried to talk him out of this career. I mean, desperately tried to talk him out of this career. And he kept getting more and more in, taking more and more jobs. We kept going, no, you're going the wrong way.
How does he know which way we're going?
By the way, these are $5 potato chips. These are the cheapest potato chips.
By the way, the whole box, there's 36 in a package at Costco. The whole thing cost about $15 for 36 of them.
Right here.
David, you got to put that on the expense report. $5
and send it to Fox.
Rich Russo, our old director. God, the stuff we used to put on his expense reports. He would see us the next week. He would go,
It's 4:20 in the morning and you're eating potato chips.
I've been up for so many hours. It feels like lunch.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Top of the morning to you, Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Big weekend that just came and went. The Bowls got underway. Did you watch any of them? I mean, we had 7 of them on Saturday. Hell, we got a bowl today. I don't even know the sponsor, the famous Toastery Bowl. Could you help? Do you know what that is?
I've got nothing for you, David.
Yeah, that's.
I had to look and see where it was being played.
Where is it being played?
It's being played in Charlotte.
Oh, well, they just had a monsoon. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that field will be in great shape. My buddies had a hard time flying out of there last night. Their flight here kept getting delayed and delayed. Western Kentucky, Old Dominion, in the famous Toastery Bowl, 2:30 this afternoon. I think it's on the mothership. I think Wilbon and Kornheiser get the day off. So there you go. So the bowl season's underway, and we are very much to the home stretch of the NFL. We got 14 games in the books, 3 more to go. And the Miami Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and as Mark is fond of saying, the South Georgia Jaguars are all in first place. Tell you what, if the Jags keep playing like this, Mark, Jacksonville will call them South Georgia. 3 losses in a row. This would be painful, by the way. I mean, come on. We all have our favorite teams, Mark. Think about it. There are certain years in which you're like, well, okay, finish in second. I get it. If you're the Jags this year, if you get beat out for the AFC South title by either Houston or Indianapolis, holy blank. They drafted in the top 4 last year.
Right. And in Indianapolis case, they haven't had their quarterback that they drafted most of the year.
Right. You're getting beat by your old quarterback. Minshew Mania's taking you down.
Houston wins with a backup yesterday.
Yeah, they're trailing by 10 in the first half. They come from behind. Boy, they finally held Derrick Henry in check and then some. His last 5 games, he had averaged over 200 yards a game against the Texans. How many yards did he have yesterday? Like 7, 9? On like 16 carries too? That's one of those, listen, we're going to lose today. We don't care. You ain't doing squat.
That right there is the coaching change. That's DeMarco Ryan saying, no way. I do defense, and there is no way we're losing this football game with that guy running wild on us.
David, 16 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah, Will Levis wants to go nuts and throw it all over the lot, and they beat us that way, then you tip your cap. But he ain't beating us today.
Trent, give that final stat sheet again for Derrick Henry.
16 carries, 9 yards.
What's more impressive, the Texans held Derrick Henry to 16 carries, 9 yards, or the Dolphins in the first half held the Jets to 4. 4. 4. That's it for the whole half. Total yards, 4.
It's more impressive, I think, to hold Derrick Henry to what they held him to because the Jets' offense is just woeful. Give the Dolphins credit.
Yes.
Took care of business.
Yeah.
And like Mark said,
Boy, they
could be a launch pad for him.
Mark Miller, by the way, on the record, Doll fan. You heard it from Mark Miller first. The Dolphins will have the AFC East clinched before they play the Bills. That's right. And if you look at Buffalo's schedule coming up, it's like the Chargers and the Patriots. So Mark's got the Bills winning, but he says it's not going to matter. Dolphins are beating Dallas, and they're going to Baltimore, and they're beating the Ravens. And Florida Sports Network, by the end of the week, is instituting mandatory drug testing. You heard it here first.
We are?
Well, if you're going to say
I'm screwed.
If you're going to say stuff like that, we're all going to be tapped on the shoulder, which is kind of, did you hear that's what happened to Jake Browning? Guy leads the Bengals from behind. He's just about ready to do like post-game interviews and what have you. The NFL taps him on the shoulder and says, yeah, you got to take a drug test. He's like, now? Yeah.
When it's time, it's time.
Apparently so. You know, leading a big comeback against the Vikings, time to get drug tested. Declare the Miami Dolphins AFC East champs before week 18. Now we're all getting drug tested, Mark.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and it's hilarious that it's random, apparently. The drug tests are random, but it's always after someone goes off.
It's just like TSA. It's very random, the people who get pulled aside for, we have to wand you. Really?
Do you get wanded a lot in TSA, David? Do you get pulled aside?
Mark, I get touched more by TSA than my wife. Is it my big forehead? Is there a sign that I can't see? Everybody else can? He is a threat. He is a jerk.
Hey, well, you got attacked from behind by that one guy, or pursued at least.
Yes.
I think your picture's in every airport in the country.
Golly.
I think you've done enough in your travels that they're out for you, that you have honked off the wrong TSA guy. He got a promotion. He's now high up in TSA, and he's like, you know what? We're going to make Moulton's life a living hell every time he travels. Definitely I want this guy pulled aside anytime you can do it.
Definitely in the Southeast. I can tell you that. Definitely in the Southeast. By the way, 2 flights to get to Seattle yesterday. First one's 44 minutes, Jacksonville to Atlanta. Nearly is closest that I've ever been on a flight to the flight basically someone being arrested on the flight. The guy sitting directly in front of me, very upset. The left side of the plane didn't have TV service. The right side did. He was furious. Yeah. 4 different people came out to talk to him. A co-pilot came out to talk to him to calm him down. He kept hitting the button every 10 seconds. Okay. Ding, ding, ding.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything?
Oh, no. I directly to him? No. There's a young couple across the aisle from me. They got married the day before. And so while he's doing all this stuff, I'm saying loudly, listen, when one of you gets like that, go for a walk. Take a nap. Okay? Have something to eat. Carry a Snickers with you. Don't ever get like that. Okay? Especially not with each other. He would turn around and he would say, hey, man, I'd go, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. They just got married.
How nervous were the married couple as this was going on, or did they find it amusing?
They were completely entertained. I'm like, hey, congratulations. Okay, we're all getting arrested.
Big guy?
No.
Even worse.
Yeah. I mean, about my size. Okay. But
didn't have the TV.
No, for a 44-minute flight at 6:30 in the morning. Right. What the hell are you going to watch?
Meet the Press.
Not yet. Nope. Do we have time for the Molly Maid play of the day?
We'll squeeze it in there. Good news is we got some blowouts from the Bucks and Dolphins, so I'll briefly interject with a little bit of Jimmy Buckets. The Heat are hosting Billy Donovan and the Chicago Bulls on Saturday. It's 116-0, and Coach Spo called Jimmy Butler's number.
2 seconds left. Butler step back for the win. Yes! Jimmy Butler delivers the victory. 118-116.
Jimmy Butler at the gun. 28 points. Heat moved to 15-11. Number 5 in the East. You know, maybe the Chicago Bulls can get a guy like Jimmy Butler someday. And there's your play of the day presented by Molly Maid.
774-5839, 774-5839, or mollymaid.com/FT Myers online. Miller and Moulton. That's our Molly Maid play of the day. Thanks so much for listening right here on the Florida Sports Network.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Have a Molly Christmas, a Molly Maid Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning preferences. Molly Maid is proud to provide thousands of families across the country with industry-leading services tailored to their specific needs. Call Molly Maid today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
You know, David, you kept sending it to me for the play of the day, and I completely forgot it was a segment for the play of the day.
It's all right.
I knew I threw you off when I said I would get touched by TSA more than my wife. That was the problem.
One of the best lines you've ever uttered on this show.
That was pretty good. We have.
So did they offer to move the guy's seat?
It's actually funny. It's what I suggested. I said to the newlywed couple, because there were 3 people in his row, and he was with the other 2, and there was only the 2 of them in their 3-person row. And I literally said to like the 4th person that came by, I go, how about this young couple and these 3 switch rows? And the guy wouldn't do it.
He just wanted to complain.
And at which point I looked at him and I go, well, I'm out.
I think I asked because I think they're going to get some sort of voucher for money.
Listen, if it was the flight to Seattle, I'd understand being a little bummed that I don't have a working screen. I could understand that. Yeah, you're on a plane for 5.5 hours. All right. It's 6:30 in the morning. We're flying to Atlanta. It's a 44-minute flight. Come on, dude.
Did you have any Seahawks or Eagles on your plane out there?
A few Eagles fans who were flying from Atlanta to Seattle. I'm at the Fairmont in Seattle on Fifth Avenue, and there's a few Eagles fans that have checked in here.
What is your itinerary today? Are you going to have a good chunk of time to sleep?
Trent. My Monday itinerary is nailed down at this point.
I know, but
it is Miller and Moulton till 10, okay, or in Seattle till 7. It is a production meeting at 11, or in Seattle 8. And then it is a nap. I block off noon to 3 when I'm in the Eastern time zone. Not saying that I nap for all 3 hours, because I don't, but that's my window, noon to 3.
Yeah, it's just
I'm going to nap. That's when I have to nap in. So today my window is 9 a.m. to noon.
Very nice.
It's funny, every now and then Gary will call me on a Monday and I'll pick up the phone. He goes, "Did I wake you?" Nope, I'm up. Oh yeah, brown chicken. No, I'm gold medallion. I made it by 181. It's funny, Deadstruck, the guy who sat next to me on this flight was very talkative for the first hour. And then I put headphones on and watched 2 movies.
Anything good?
No.
Rocky.
Oh, just what was on the plane?
Yeah, but it meant I didn't have to talk to the guy next to me any longer.
No Rocky 4, no Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh no, all those movies were on there. Oh no, I thought of you. Oh no, I thought of you. I saw the Rockies, hell, 3 Creed movies. Oh yeah. No, I thought of you. I'm not watching this. Yeah, they're iconic, I know. But do we have Chip Kelly queued up?
We do. And here we go.
Do you have the question?
Yes.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
It's 22 minutes before the hour. Top of the morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for spending some time with us. We are Miller and Moulton. This is the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. You miss any part of the show, Trent is outstanding at uploading every hour of the show within moments after it's done airing. Go to floridasportsnetwork.com and download what it is you miss. No guests today. David Sampson tomorrow. Pat's got all sorts of his flights got canceled. He's lost power in the Northeast. He's got trees down. So not sure when we're going to have Pat on this. We'll definitely have him on Friday. We may get him on the middle of the week too. I don't know. But anyway, Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network. Hey, the Bowls started on Saturday, Mark.
Right.
And you caught a little bit of the Avocados from Mexico Bowl.
Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not going to sing it? Sing the jingle they do? The Avocados from Mexico? Come on, it's great.
I will say I didn't hear the jingle because I had it on the TV without sound.
Okay.
And
I'm not an avocados fan, so
I love avocados.
Right. I know you do.
Love them. Love my guacamole. Had some avocados this weekend.
I did too.
So 2 of the 3 members of the show like avocados. David, you do not.
I do not. Right. And not that there's anything wrong with that. But I know you watched a little bit of App State beating Miami of Ohio 13-9. But anyway, bowl season kicked off Saturday. That was
Right.
my point. Okay. And one of the games was the Los Angeles Bowl. And so they went out on a limb and they got one of the two college football teams that played in Los Angeles to be in the game, UCLA, who rallied from a significant halftime deficit, actually, to beat Boise State. But anyway, did you catch, Mark? It was either Thursday or Friday of last week. I think it was the day before the game. You know, the coaches do media. Did you catch Chip Kelly?
I did not see it. I have now read what he had to say.
Okay. This is one of those times in which instead of Miller and Moulton describing something, putting it in context, we're going to air about a 2-minute clip here. There's a question from a reporter, and there's an answer from Chip Kelly. And it is about college football as a whole. Trent, are you ready?
Yeah, here we go.
What is the biggest issue that you might have right now, whether it be realignment, NIL, transfer portal, and what would your plan maybe be to try to solve it?
I think they're all a problem, and I think we need to have a conference commissioner. I think football should be separate from the other sports. Just the fact that our school is leaving to go to the Big Ten in football, our softball team should be playing Arizona in softball. Our basketball team should be playing Arizona in basketball. But because football left, and they're saying, well, how do you do that? Well, Notre Dame's independent in football, and they're in a conference and everything else. I think we should all be independent in football. And you can have a 64-team conference that's in the Power Five, and you can have a 64-team conference in the Group of Five, and we separate it, and we play each other. You can have the West Coast teams, and then every year we play 7 games against the West Coast teams, and then we play the East. So we play Syracuse, Boston College, Pitt, West Virginia, Virginia. Then the next year you play against the South while you still play your 7 teams. You can play a 7-game schedule. You can play 4 against another conference, another division opponent, and you can always play against one Mountain West team every year so that we can still keep those rivalries going. Not that I've really thought about this. Not that I've a lot of spent time on this. But I think if you went together collectively as a group and said there's 132 teams and we all share in the same we all share the same TV contract, so that the Mountain West doesn't have one and the Sun Belt doesn't have another and SEC has one and they have another, that we all go together, that's a lot of games, and there's a lot of people in the TV world that would go through it. You can sponsor each one. Instead of calling it Group of Five and Power Five, you can call it Amazon, Nike, bid that out to things. You do a lot of different things. But I think if we still do the same thing and take all that money, and I would do this, and I think this needs to be done, that money now needs to be shared with the student athletes, and there needs to be revenue sharing. The players should get paid, and you get rid of NLI, and the schools should be paying the players because the players are what the product is. And the fact that they don't get paid is really the biggest travesty. Not that I've thought about it.
He threw an awful lot on the table there. I don't know if you were taking notes during it, but I was. There's 7 points minimum that he threw out there. 1, the sport needs a commissioner. Break the sport in half. Power 5, Group of 5. Football has to be separated from all the other sports. Share the TV contract, like the NFL. How about bidding out the names of the conferences to sponsors? The Nike conference, the New Balance conference, and then revenue sharing with the players. This way you get rid of NIL, like the NFL. That's all. That's all he mentioned in that minute 48 there.
Like he hadn't thought about it either.
Hadn't thought about it.
He was just waiting for the question. I mean, that almost appears as if he told the guy, I need you to ask me this question.
He set it up.
Okay. Where do you want to start? I mean, it's great. I think it would work. It's never going to happen.
Well, no, it's never going to happen because the conferences aren't going to give up the power that they have right now, and the teams control the conferences. Therefore, the SEC is not going to give up that type of power to Big 12 schools now.
Well, the problem now is we went from 5 to essentially 2 because you and I both believe that the ACC is about to get blown up.
And even if it's not, it does not have the power that the two main conferences do.
Now, let's just humor me here for a second. What if what Chip Kelly is talking about, what if the top tier is just the SEC and the Big Ten? The ACC gets blown up here. They go wherever they're going. Whoever you think's going to the Big Ten, whoever you think's going to the SEC, and then the others are going to end up going to the Big 12. Some will remain. South Florida, App State, East Carolina, they'll join. They'll make it. They'll call it the ACC. It won't be anything resembling the conference that we all have known it was. What if what's left, and we could end up with a 2022, 2014 Big Ten, and we could end up with an 18, 20 or so team SEC. What if they joined forces and broke away? And they were the Power Five. And obviously the Big 12 would be upset and, but what if they joined forces?
It would be like to me, the only way to do it would be like baseball used to be before interleague play. And I'm not kidding. You just play all your games inside of your conference. You have your championship at the end, however you want to determine it. And then the best, whoever wins out the playoff of the Big Ten takes the team that wins the playoff from the SEC. And we have the championship, the world championship of college football, David.
Do you think that could happen?
Yes.
So you think, say, by the end of the decade, because here's the other thing. The Big Ten is 1 year into a 7-year TV contract. So the Big Ten and the SEC, since they're now only going to have one media partner. I mean, Sankey and ESPN can at any point in time have a meeting and decide to change their agreement. So there's nothing holding the SEC back from anything that anyone proposes. The other conferences are tied into networks, and they actually have deals that they have to play out. So this can't happen. Chip Kelly's plan can't happen until 2030 at the earliest. Because the Big Ten can't get out of their TV deal. I mean, you'd have to sit down and give Fox and CBS and NBC, and it would just be too convoluted. It really would. Here's the problem I see, Mark. The Big Ten's footprint is literally coast to coast.
And it's going to expand when the ACC blows up.
But the SEC can look around to Chip Kelly and go, we don't have a footprint problem. We don't. Our volleyball teams and our tennis teams and whatever, we're fine. Most of the matches are fine. Yeah, some of them are a pain in the butt. But all in all, we're good. And we have enough money, by the way. We do. Now, how schools disperse it, that's on them. But there's enough money to go around.
But one of the things Chip talked about was the basketball team and the volleyball team and you mentioned the softball team. That's where your point to the SEC is. They're fine.
For the most
and softballs.
Yes.
Although there was something really interesting that happened that my son pointed out to me that I was not aware of. And this leads me to what you were saying, the AC. North Carolina, the University of North Carolina is building a hockey facility for their club team right now. A 4,000-seat hockey arena for their club hockey team. What conference plays hockey at a high level?
Well, Mark, the Big Ten.
Yeah. He told me that, and I went, that's because the ACC is crumbling, and they're going to the Big Ten. It's the first thing I thought when I heard that.
It also goes to show the impact the Carolina Hurricanes have made on the region, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, the Hurricanes moved there in what, 97? So
Sounds
25 plus years later, that's beautiful, actually, to those of us that love hockey. That's like, well, I mean, when you and I lived in Southwest Florida at the same time, we've seen the impact that just a minor league hockey team has made in Southwest Florida. We know the impact that the Lightning have made in the Tampa area, and now between Tampa and Fort Myers, Naples, the youth hockey that's being played is as good as any in the country, quite frankly, during that 150-mile stretch. But yeah, that is a little interesting tidbit there.
Yeah, I just
you threw out there. But see, if you're Greg Sankey, and first off, Greg Sankey doesn't want to get, also, the whole SEC, they want to take on the world. They do. They like that. If you sat down with this, like Coke and Pepsi, that's the analogy we've used for 2 weeks. That's what college sports is going to be going forward. Coke and Pepsi are the SEC and the Big Ten. Well, call the SEC whichever one you want, Coke or Pepsi. It'd be Coke, right? Because everything in the South is a Coke.
Right.
Right. So the SEC's Coke. Okay, well, Coke doesn't want to merge with Pepsi. They want to battle Pepsi. They want to, every chance they get, they want to battle Pepsi.
And tell them that they're better while doing so.
Yes. Don't give me your blind taste test and no, we're better than you. Go out there with your label, our label, let's go.
And to take on what Chip Kelly was talking about, the SEC feels they're going to be better in not just football. They think they're going to be better in every sport.
Now, what's interesting is the Big Ten actually brings in more revenue. The way the Big Ten did it, the NFL model had much more money than the SEC ESPN model by a couple $100 million a year. But Mark, I actually think you could get everybody else to follow Chip Kelly's model. I think you get the Big 12 and the ACC and the Mountain West and the Sun Belt Conference USA. I think you could get them all to buy in. You think you can get any buy-in from Coke or Pepsi?
Believe it or not, I think you could get buy-in from Pepsi. I think the Big Ten, you could perhaps talk into this. I don't think you could talk the SEC into it. But I think the point of where the ending thing that he said, the universities being in charge of the athlete, which makes them what, David?
Well, Mark, in our world, it makes them employees.
And what does that do to Title IX, if anything? I think a lot. I think it changes that game completely. And I think it's the only way further down the road for the sport of football to continue the way they want it to collegiately.
So those are Chip Kelly's comments. Don't know if you heard them on Twitter/X. They were getting a lot of play over the last 72 hours. Because we all know, even if we love big-time college football and basketball, it's messy right now. Very. And so some changes are going to have to be made. What changes and what's realistic? He threw out conference commissioner, a Power 5, Group of 5 split with the Power 5 now, share the TV money, conference sponsorships, football separate from all the rest, and revenue sharing for the players.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Have a Molly Christmas, a Molly made Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning preferences. Molly Made is proud to provide thousands of families across the country with industry-leading services tailored to their specific needs. Call Molly Made today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymade.com/FTMYERS.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best. And the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, pop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Michael, not the last 2 years. Last year, our first game was here and haven't been back since. But the 2 or 3 years before that, we were to Seattle all the time. All the time. With Fox, between Thursday night and Fox, we were here at least twice a year. The pandemic year, we were here 3 or 4 times. Yeah. The 1 year, Michael, we did 9 games in the Pacific time zone between Thursday and Sunday. 9 games. Adam, so you're upset that he left Oregon for the Eagles?
Wow, a guy left a job to make more money at another job. So you wouldn't leave your paper company to go to another paper company if they paid you 4 times more money? To do the same job, by the way.
And remember, Adam, like 4 years before he took Oregon to the national championship game, he was like the offensive coordinator at UMass. I think it was UMass Lowell. Yeah, this is the first weekend of just no Saturday game. It's a lot easier. But this is the easiest travel I've ever had. I mean, Saturday, Monday. I mean, I was doing Thursday, Saturday, Sunday for 4 years. I mean, that was hard. Leaving
No, he wasn't
town.
complaining about making money for himself. I didn't take it that way at all, Adam. I did not take it that way at all. He said the university should be paying him. He said NIL's wrong, and if it was done right, the university would pay him. I didn't think he was complaining about players making money.
No, Adam, you heard that wrong. He said without the players, there's no product. He said what's interesting is both he and Harbaugh, two guys who have coached in the NFL, are very much into players getting revenue sharing.
Yeah, revenue sharing.
Right.
It makes sense in literally every other industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let's
you are the product.
But let's be honest, though. This is no longer quote unquote college football.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
And just like that, it's the third and final hour of Miller Moulton along the network. The Diamond District bonus hour is 1 hour away. A week from today, it is Christmas. We are off on Christmas. I believe Mark and Trent are doing a show the day after Christmas.
We are.
I may or may not be able to join them for part of it. I am taking a red eye. I raised my hand. I asked for permission. I said to Mark, listen, I got a hell travel week. If I stay in San Francisco and do the show, to catch the flights or what have you, I go, can I play hooky for a day? Can I take a red eye home? And he went, yeah, sure. Hell, I could do the show without you. Yeah. Well, okay. I didn't have to say it like that. So it's Mark and Trent a week from tomorrow.
Over under on how many hours David does because he'll feel guilty.
1.5.
I don't know. I'll be in Atlanta. I think my red eye is Frisco to Atlanta and then the final flight home. I'm not sure. I actually think I get to Atlanta in time to do How the Heck Are You?
I would love that. Put it this way. We'll go a little behind the scenes here. We use a service called StreamYard for David. It's like Zoom, but it works better for us. There's things you can put on the screen graphically and makes it a little nicer for those that take it in on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. You can do it. And Seth Everett, who's a weekly guest on our show, the 1 week he was on vacation, actually did it just over his phone. And he goes, man, this works great. So you will get a StreamYard link for the show on the 26th. You just pop in whenever you want on your phone and say, when I see you in there, I'm just going to bring you up and say, David, what's on your mind?
And from some terminal at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, I'll be standing in a corner somewhere warning people around me. It only lasts about 10 seconds. Just sip your Starbucks. It'll be okay.
Well,
do it in the
Right.
Starbucks line.
We're gonna need live reactions from TSA.
That's where you want me to do it?
And rip a how the heck are you and see what the hell happens.
You want me to leave the airport, come back and do it in the TSA line, do you?
No, I want you to get home.
I was going to say. So we're only taking the one show off as a show, just Christmas Day.
And New
That's
Year's
it.
Day.
Well, yeah, I was just getting through Christmas first, but you're right. We're taking Christmas and New Year's off. They're both on a Monday. Next year, by the way, they're both on a Wednesday because we got the leap year next year, so it goes forward 2 days. So it'll be awkward next year. Christmas right smack dab in the middle of the week next year.
So we'll be working right on through everything.
I was going to say either that or you take the whole week off, one or the other.
Hold on.
You can't during football season. That's the
I
hard
know.
part. There was a time that you and I used to take off between Christmas and New Year's, vacation days or whatever, but you really can't during football season.
So David doesn't like when his wife decorates for Christmas early, but he already knows when next Christmas is in the week.
Oh, yeah, Trent, I am ass Mark. I am so anal retentive when it comes to dates. I know the day of the week the days are. Oh yeah, because of my football schedule. I got it in my head. I know we're going to be. What's interesting is I don't know if the NFL can do a game on Christmas next year. You can't do a game on a Wednesday, can you?
No.
No, I mean that's just unfair. So, that's what I'm wondering. Do we maybe not have a game on Christmas next year?
I
Is
hope
this the
so.
NFL's It's the NFL's new thing though, Mark. They started it in 2019. It did really well in the ratings. Remember, the very next day came back and I said to you, this is going to become a thing. They did this just to throw a little dart on the board at the NBA and say, well, let's see if we can get any traction. And the Saints Vikings did 17 million people. The NFL's like, schedule the day, boys.
Well, and these leagues pay attention. I mean, the NFL does pay attention to the other leagues. They look at the NBA and see it as some sort of competition. And the NBA threw in their in-season tournament to try to do what? Take some football eyes away from football during the NFL season. NFL, they may play on Wednesday just to spite the NBA, David.
Come on, you can't play on a Wednesday, can you?
No.
No,
Not
wouldn't you
without double buys. If they were given if you were given a team the week off before, but you can't play on 2 days rest. No.
No. I mean, unless somehow, some way they work it where literally the two teams get their bye week leading into it.
But they
So
don't take buys this late.
Yeah, I know that. They can't.
Although Rough Tough Powder Puff, cute name, by the way. I'd really like to go with Al or Steve or Joe. But he does suggest that the NFL will have Christmas moved to a different day. And I do think that's a possibility.
Well, they are pretty powerful. They're about the only thing in which we can get consensus in this country anymore. So maybe.
Yeah, Santa, Roger Goodell. We got to talk.
I need you to hold off for a day. What?
Move Christmas to the 26th this year, okay?
Yeah.
We've got to play 3 games.
Right. Think about it. Got a game on Thursday, 2 on Saturday, and then 3 on Christmas Monday, for goodness sakes. I have to admit, I don't like that idea. I thought it was okay when you did the one-off. Right. And it's not because I've been a part of the one-off every year, but just, I don't know, 3 days on Christmas. That's, I mean, really, is that necessary? But Mark, you're right. That's all because of the NBA. That's Goodell saying, you know what? The hell with them. I don't like Adam Silver. I'm not a LeBron guy. Okay. Who are they scheduled? Who cares? Let's go. We'll do Giants, Eagles. Then how about Raiders, Chiefs? And then Ravens, Niners here. We'll give them a little Hurts in the Eagles, Mahomes in the Chiefs, and Lamar, and then throw the Niners in for good measure. And it turns out the Ravens, Niners right now are literally the 2 best teams in the league. No big deal or anything.
Just wait till they start doing the SEC schedule reveal on Christmas Day.
Outstanding, Trent. Outstanding.
21,000 the text line, 21000. If you want to chime in on anything that we're talking about on the show, you can always join us, twitch.tv/Miller and Moulton, to watch us as well as listen.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm giving him all the credit and all the blame because I don't agree with him. Mark Miller has proclaimed that the Dolphins will have the AFC East clinched before they play the Bills.
They're going to win them both.
They're going to beat Dallas at home. And then wait for it. What are they going to do, Mark?
They're going to go to Baltimore because Baltimore's doing what the week before? Who are they playing?
They're playing the Niners in
Who
San Francisco.
beat the ever-living tar out of you. They're the most physical team in the league. Look at teams' records the week after playing San Francisco. It's not good.
No, it is not. That is not. It's a good point by you. It's a valid point by you.
Once in a while.
Styles make a fight also. So So Mark Miller says the Dolphins are going to take care of business. The AFC East will be in their back pocket. You know, in theory, Mark, if you're right, and let's just say the Ravens lose in Frisco, and then if they lose to Miami, the Dolphins will have clinched the 1 seed, right? Or technically, could the Chiefs
No,
catch
the
them?
Chiefs could still catch them.
Right, because they own the tiebreak.
Right.
Because they beat them head-to-head. Gotcha.
How about that?
So-
Dolphins win 2 in a row, lose to the Bills, and lose the 1 seed
Yeah.
because the Chiefs went out.
And lose the bye, and then maybe have to play Buffalo the very next week. All right, it's time to play if the playoffs were to start today.
Dun, 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 dun.
In the AFC, Baltimore's the 1 seed, first round bye. Miami is the 2 seed. They would play the 7th-seeded Indianapolis Colts. Let's have Marino and Manning for old time's sake, huh? No? How long ago does that seem? Kansas City would be the 3 seed. They'd host the Bengals. That'd be funny. Third year
Really
in a row.
would. It really would.
Jacksonville's the 4. They have the tiebreak over Houston and Indianapolis. They would host Cleveland, even though right now Cleveland is the better record. Quick sidebar. Do you want to see that changed at all?
No.
So
Division
you want-
winners deserve a home playoff game.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if they're 9-8 and the 5 seeds 12-5.
Doesn't matter if they're 8-9.
Okay. Like we saw last year with Tampa hosting Dallas. So that means, by the way, Houston and Buffalo, both 8-6, right now are on the outside looking in. Never mind Pittsburgh and Denver, who are both 7-7. In the NFC, San Francisco is the 1. Technically, today, since Philadelphia has not played, Philadelphia is the 2. If they win tonight, they remain the 2. If they lose tonight, for the moment, Dallas becomes the 2 again. Eagles, Seahawks, Monday Night Football. Detroit is the 3. What's the magic number to clinch the North? 1? Any combination of Lions wins and Vikings losses?
The only scenario the Lions don't win the North is if they lose out and the Vikings win out.
And I think they get a playoff spot tonight if Seattle loses
They
as
do.
well. They clinch a playoff spot.
And granted, 2 of the Lions' remaining 3 games are against the Vikings. But any other scenario, they win the North.
Not that he's into this. Or
Not at all.
Paying attention at all. He walks around with the damn tiebreakers in his front pocket. Tampa Bay is the 4. They own the tiebreaker over the Saints. And in fact, the Saints are out this morning. They, at 7-7, are out. Dallas is technically the 5, the first wild card. And we know whoever finishes second in the NFC East is going to be the first wild card. Minnesota is still the 6, despite the loss. The LA Rams, Mark called it about a month ago. They were 3-6. Mark said, just don't sleep on the Rams.
They're going to be the 6th seed.
Stafford's going to go back to Detroit.
Yep.
God, that'd be
You're going to get that
phenomenal.
game, too.
That'd be phenomenal. So the Vikings are the 6, the Rams are the 7. The Saints are technically odd team out. They lose the tiebreaker with the Rams and the Vikings because of conference record. And they lose the tiebreaker in the NFC South. Seattle, with a win tonight, would still be out of the playoffs, but they would happily leapfrog New Orleans and become the 8. So there you have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples.
BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Life Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlifetransportation.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and Tiki Bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Moved to cashews, did you?
No, like party mix here.
Ah. Sounded like a nut.
Or peanut too.
I think I'm going to text Philly today. He needs to do more than the cat. If your girlfriend's popping in the Twitch chat room at 7 in the morning,
It's a cry for help.
she's looking for something.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Can you say, listen, while I'm going to visit Todd and Jason, is there anything you want me to pick you up?
Yeah, when my wife revealed the number being 3 times higher than I had planned on spending, I was actually mad. Now I'm just effed.
Okay. I'm not. Hold on. Do you want to end this? I don't mean the marriage. I mean this whole Santa thing. No, hold on. If you stick to the original and just,
then I'm a dick.
No. No, and you look right at her and you go, we had a deal.
David, can I ask you a question? Are you a dick?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then you cannot answer whether or not that's not a question you're allowed to answer.
I'm just posing it.
You can Buster Posey it for all I care.
Ha, ha, ha. Adam, unless either Houston or Indy's going to run the table, you can lose to Tampa, win your last 2, you'll still win the division. Because you'll win all the 10 and 7 tiebreakers. Because in the last 2, that means you beat Tennessee. Your division record will be 5-1.
I just think that was so poorly managed when they played Trevor against the Browns.
I agree with you.
I hope it doesn't come back to haunt him because he doesn't look 100% at all.
No,
and
not.
You're going on the road to play a top 3 defense in the NFL.
And you can't move.
And you don't have an O-line.
Right, you're playing a third string left tackle and you can't move.
You're in a position, you put yourself in position where you can take a loss. Take a loss. Throw the backup out there. That was bizarre. Yeah, RCB, that makes it even more impressive in my opinion. Buck said, yeah, we'll hold out Devin White. Healthy scratch. We'll go to Lambeau Field and we'll just manhandle you.
Adam, you are falling apart here.
Yeah, Adam,
you are becoming unglued.
Don't worry.
You play Tampa and Carolina the next 2 weeks.
You're still very much in control. I'd be more concerned about Trevor Lawrence's ankle. That's all.
That's what happens when you draft your team guys, Logic Man. I got away with murder on fantasy this weekend because I had guys.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
"21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, thanks so much for being with us. Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. First place Dolphins, first place Bucks, first place Jags. Damn near uncharted territory. I think there was like an hour and a half in 1999 where that was the case. But heady times right now for the NFL teams in Florida. Bucks on a 3-game winning streak. Dolphins are 10-4. Haven't won 4 of 5. And even though the Jags have lost 3 in a row, they're in first place. But a great win by Tampa. Hey, what's up with the whole Devin White healthy scratch thing? Is that a discipline thing? What's going on there?
Is that a discipline or Todd Bowles doesn't think he's effective anymore?
Well, Devin White?
Hey, why are you scratching him then?
Well,
What's
that's
going
my
on?
question. It's got to be a discipline issue, right? I mean, he didn't healthy scratch Levante David, the older linebacker. He healthy scratched the 50-year linebacker.
Right.
The guy who wants $20 million a year. Obviously ain't getting it from Tampa. But all right, Mark, if the Bucks hold on and win the NFC South, and by the way, the NFC South champion may actually have 9 wins.
I know.
We would have lost that over under. We've been betting under 8.5 all year, seemingly.
On the other hand, though, you guys were dead on about the coaching situation in that division because it looks like Arthur Smith is going to get canned, or he should.
Losing to Carolina. If they miss the playoffs by that game, he should get canned. Even he admitted afterwards, this was not the result we were expecting.
Did you see Tomlin's comment too? We're not a fundamentally good football team.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost raising your hand and saying, I'm not doing my job.
Or blame me. Which, believe me, the Steeler fan base has no problem doing. I'm telling you, both Belichick and Tomlin are coaching elsewhere next year. And they both may want to be also, especially since the Chargers job is opened up. I mean, come on. Mike Tomlin, the last 4 years, got the last 2 years of Roethlisberger's career when he was a fat mess. All right. And then the first 2 years of Kenny Pickett. And then when he's not healthy, Mitchell Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. You don't think Mike
Trubisky's so bad they're chanting for Mason Rudolph?
I think they're 0-5 with Trubisky starting. This and last year. Both.
I have to admit, I did not think he was not this bad with the Bears. He wasn't. Something has gone horribly wrong with Mitchell Trubisky. He has gotten worse.
No arguments there.
The Bears won the division with him 1 year, didn't they?
And his last year in Chicago, they went 8-8, made the playoffs. Yeah, they went 12-4 the one year with Trubisky. His second year in the league, I think it was. So, but anyway, I'm telling you, I think deep down, Mike Tomlin's like, it might be time. I've been here a long time. George Bush was president. Bush 43 was president when I took over. How long ago does that seem? That's a while, right? That qualifies as a while, right? When Tomlin took over the Steelers, I don't even know. I don't think Barack Obama had announced his candidacy for president yet. I mean, that's how long ago it was.
Does he figure out a way, just quickly, do the Steelers figure out a way to keep his record of winning records intact?
I don't think
the Bengals at Seattle, at the Ravens. I don't see any way that happens.
No. I mean, come on. They were 7-4 hosting Arizona and New England back to back.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
You
They
throw
should
in
have
the
been
fact
9-4.
Their chemistry sucks right now.
Their chemistry sucks because they suck.
Yeah.
The chemistry sucks because Mitchell Trubisky is god awful.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm forced to watch this stuff.
You've got a tough schedule, and the chemistry sucks, and the coach seems like he might be out the door. So,
And he's entering next year's, I believe, is the final year of his contract. So this is usually when an organization, if they want to keep you, they sign you to an extension. I don't know. I mean, it's 17 years, right? I mean, 07 was his first year. I mean, that's a good run. 16 winning seasons. Had a good run. I mean, listen, his resume is a Hall of Fame resume. His resume is every bit Cowher's resume. And I would argue ever so slightly better. And Mike Tomlin's what, early 50s? 51, 52? I mean, Mike Tomlin's, oh my goodness. He'll get a gig.
Well, that's assuming you're right that he's leaving Pittsburgh. But yes, he'll get a gig.
He's 51 years old.
Yeah, I think it's time.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but they don't operate that way.
I understand that, but this could be a mutual agreement thing also.
If it were up to you, where would you want to see him? Where should he want to go?
They all want to go to LA.
LA. Although they're in a cap mess. And some of their key guys are older and expensive. They're actually going to have to tear this down a little bit. But you're going to have a quarterback. Despicable D says, how about Atlanta? Not bad. Give me a quarterback. Get me a quarterback. I'd win there.
Because we went through on Friday the jobs that are going to be available, that we think could be available. And there are 7-8 jobs that we think minimum are available in the National Football League.
Mark thinks at least 6. Okay, he'd probably bet 7. I think 8 are coming available. Because I think Tomlin's leaving Pittsburgh.
I think the Bears would be a great fit for Tomlin.
Are they going to get rid of him?
Don't know.
They've played 5 pretty solid efforts in a row here. 3 wins and close losses to Detroit and Cleveland. 2 teams who combined have won 19 games.
I think they only fire Eberflus if one of these guys that comes available, like a Harbaugh or Tomlin, and there's kind of an under-the-table handshake, and they know what they've got in the chamber. Because to David's point, they've kind of turned it around a little bit.
Well, here's my thing. Remember, the current GM hired the coach. He didn't draft the quarterback. Not that it should matter, but we all know it does. Because if you're the GM, it's kind of like Scott Strickland in Florida. Why we keep saying, Strickland ain't going to fire Napier, because when he fires Napier, he better have his office packed. So that's the problem with the second-year GM of the Bears. You fire your hand-picked coach. Management looks at you like, you sure?
Unless management tells him to fire him because you can get this guy.
Right, Harbaugh or Tomlin. Hey, Bears fans, what about Belichick? Hey, Bill's into the history of the game, okay?
Bill's never coached out west.
No. Chicago would be the most Western place I think he's ever coached.
Absolutely. And you are right about the history of the game. You keep saying Washington to follow Lombardi, but Chicago to revive Hallis's Bears.
Hallis Hall.
Right.
Who had the all-time record before Shula broke it? Hallis. Who's Bill passing next if he hasn't passed him already? Hallis. Right. Mm-hmm. Just a thought, Bears fans. I mean, come on. You can't stick with Matt Eberflus. Bill Belichick's available, right?
Not a chance.
I mean, I know they're 3-11, but come on now. If you're the GM, you said, listen, here's the deal. You don't get any input on the offense whatsoever. I'll listen to everything you have to say about a defensive player in the draft. You just do whatever you want on that side of the ball. I don't even want you in an offensive meeting. Miller and Moulton.
Don't want you in an offensive meeting.
Nope. You're in a rut. I think that's fair to say.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best. And the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, pop into a few jewelry stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many years' experience and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
So, Mark, what happened in fantasy?
Oh, my guy that I played kind of choked, but I had D-Hop who got like nothing.
Yeah.
And Bijan Robinson who got less than nothing and still won. Still up with 140 with those two duds.
Wow. I put up 135. I won. So I'm in the final four.
That's where I am.
Semis.
Which this could be the farthest I've ever gone in fantasy football is to the semis.
Really?
Yeah, I'm terrible at fantasy football, admittedly.
I have had a great 3-year run. Went to the finals again, lost both. This is the year. This has to be the year.
Oh, here we go.
Of course, I go as the Lions go because I've got...
The Washington Supreme Court declined to hear an appeal, so Oregon State and Washington State are in full control of the Pac-12.
They did that late last week.
Yo.
It might have been Friday, but
must
they
have
did
been,
it.
'cause I'm looking at
they
something
did it
that's
late last week. Yeah.
that's from
Now,
an
now
email
there-
I get every morning. So it must have, because I didn't get this on Friday.
Now, there is a stipulation, though, that the court said. They basically said to Washington State and Oregon State, you got to hand out this money fairly. There's a word or a phrase they use. They basically said, you two can't keep all the money and screw them. We'll put you in charge of it, but you got to, be an adult. So we'll see.
How good is Sam Laporta? Just a monster.
Well, and not only that, it makes the Hawkinson trade look even better.
Yeah.
Because, you trade Hawkinson, you lose him for half a season, but then you draft Laporta.
Matt Patricia calling plays tonight for the Eagles defense. I'm just like, I can't get over that. I think it's hilarious. We're a little banged up. Our secondary is getting torched. Let's have Matt Patricia call plays.
I will say, appreciate the comments, at least in the Twitch chat room last week, saying that the Roto segments have helped. Hope that's the case.
I had to laugh. A guy that I watch on Score app when I do DraftKings, he has a sit, start, stash thing. And usually there's a good sleeper pick in there too. His receivers to sit this week were Addison for Minnesota, who went off. I forgot who the two first guys he listed just completely went off. The third one was Gabe Davis. I nearly started him in a DFS. I'm like, he's going to be wrong on all three.
Yeah. It's tough to be a fantasy expert because you stick your neck out there every single week. I will say Dr. Roto told me to start Darius Slayton over MVS in my 16-man league, and that was 100% the right call. Got 8 points out of Slayton, which is worth its weight in gold in this league. You got third-string guys in your flex. All right, here we go.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes until we're done along the network. Then the Diamond District bonus hour kicks in for those in the 239. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm in Seattle. Monday Night Football tonight. Interesting game. Eagles and Seahawks.
Who's playing?
Thank you. Back to you, Jim, in the studio. So here's the deal if you haven't heard. So Geno Smith apparently re-aggravated after having a good day of practice late in the week. Apparently he kind of tweaked it. So his status is up in the air. And Jalen Hurts is sick. How sick? Well, they kept him home and flew the whole team here without him, and then flew him a day later on his own plane. Now, I think most of us expect that Jalen Hurts is going to play. He's at least going to try. I mean, think about it. If you were the starting quarterback of an NFL team, your team's lost 2 in a row, you're the leader of the team. How sick would you have to be to not go out there and at least give it a go? And then when you think you're really sick and you're too sick to start, the coach says, "You do know Marcus Mariota is your backup, right? Did you see him play last year with the Falcons? Did you see his last couple of years in Tennessee? How sick are you?" "Oh, coach, I'll be there." Damn right you will. But then there's the intrigue with the Eagles, Mark. See, they go to the Super Bowl last year, and both the coordinators get jobs. One guy's in Indy, one guy's in Arizona. So they got two new coordinators this year. Well, it turns out that the guy who's the defensive coordinator just got demoted over the weekend. And he's being replaced by, Mark? Who's he being replaced by?
Oh, it's Matt Patricia.
Master personality.
There he is. Put that pencil in backwards over your ear and let's get after it.
So the last time we saw Matt Patricia calling defenses in the NFL, the Lions were giving up like 41 points a game, or at least so it seemed. So now last year, I mean, even Bill didn't want him calling the defenses. He had him as an offensive assistant with the Patriots, and that went swimming.
That worked out so well.
Right. But that's Bill's fault. I mean, putting Matt Patricia in charge of an offense. What the heck?
Part of the reason that Bill's going to get fired at the end of the year.
I was going to say, how angry at Mr. Kraft are you? My goodness. So anyway, so you got the Eagles. They've lost 2 in a row, and they're trying to hold off Dallas and win the East and be the 2 seed. And hell, for that matter, they're trying to hold off Detroit and not be the 3 seed. I mean, Detroit can be the 2 if they can get some help from Seattle tonight. But if you're a Lions fan, you're also a little torn because the Seattle loss puts the Lions in the playoffs.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I mean, well, I'll ask the Lions fan. Who are you rooting for tonight? Philadelphia to get Detroit into the playoffs or Seattle to give Detroit a better seeding in the playoffs?
100% Seattle.
Thank you.
Because the team here, real quick, the difference is for this season that you actually have a good team. So you're confident in your abilities, especially after what we saw Saturday, to win a game, to put yourself in the playoffs. That's all.
Thank you, Dan Campbell.
Now go bite a knee. So Philly's
I was getting ready to count wheeze there.
I know. Philly's a 3-point favorite tonight. Over-under's 45.5. Basically, Vegas says this is a 24-21 game. Give or take half a point. Okay. For the record, I picked Seattle to win. I did it on Friday when we made our picks. I'm 2-2 heading into tonight. This is the difference between me being a winner or a loser this week. Well, you know I'm a loser, but, just from gambling standpoint. Mark had a rough one.
Back-to-back rough weeks.
1-4-1. We both suffered a bad beat with the Bengals because we bet the Bengals when they were 3.5. By kickoff, it was 3. That would have been a push. But when we bet it, that made us a loser. So, but Mark called the Bills.
Didn't expect the monsoon in Orlando for my Cure Bowl. Kind of saw the start of that game, went, ooh, think I should have bet the under in this one.
Right. Instead, he laid the points with App State. They won, but they didn't cover. Plus, we both were riding Atlanta hard. Couldn't beat
Because
Carolina.
Carolina's so bad that nobody's going to lose to Carolina.
Right.
Certainly not a team in a playoff hunt and a chance to win a division.
Right. And all you have to do is beat them by more than 3. I mean, who can't do that? Oh, the Atlanta Falcons.
And Arthur Smith will be looking for a job because of that loss.
No doubt.
There's not a doubt in my mind. He's fired. Trent, you said it earlier. You're right. Because that will keep them out of the playoffs, and that will cost him his job.
Well, it's especially painful because it's a division loss because that affects all tiebreakers. Like they've split with Tampa, but now it comes down to the division game. If you're Atlanta, how ironic is this? I mean, A, you have to win out to get to 9, but B, when the Saints play the Bucks, you have to root, I think, for the Saints because then the next week you play the Saints.
it was kind of like we spoke of the AFC East. Who was going to lose to the Patriots, and how would that affect the division? Well, it turned out it's the South, and who's going to lose to Carolina? Atlanta lost to Carolina.
Well, and Buffalo lost to the Patriots. So
Right.
How we didn't see that coming. So Buffalo, Miami's got a 2-game lead. Well, one of the two is the Bills lost to the Patriots. They've won 3 games this year. That's a bad loss. But the Bills are looming. The Dolphins are 10-4. Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo. Boom, boom, boom. Final 3 for Miami. 2 of them at home. Dallas and Buffalo at home. It's an Oreo cookie. The Ravens are the filling.
And when Miami beats Dallas this weekend.
Look at you. Look at you.
When? You gave a when.
When Miami beats Dallas this weekend, they will play a Baltimore team that's going to be in a fist fight with San Francisco.
And Dolphins will have a little extra rest. Dolphins playing Sunday afternoon, Baltimore playing Monday night. Baltimore has the advantage. He'll be playing the Dolphins in Baltimore. But it's all right there for Miami. Win out, you're the one. Might even be able to win 2 out of 3 and be the one if you win the right 2. Win 2, and you're the AFC East champ. Mark Miller says you're going to be the AFC East champ before the Buffalo game. So you think they'll be playing that game to A, clinch the 1, and B, keep the Bills out of the playoffs?
Yes. I do.
Remember, Bills lose just about every tiebreaker out there. So, and one of the things that took place over the weekend, you had some 7-6 teams get to 8-6. Indy and Houston both got to 8-6. Cleveland's now posted 9. Cincinnati's at 8, for goodness sakes. I think it's Cleveland at Cincinnati, final game of the regular season also.
Yes, that's correct.
Boy, the NFL has really figured out going to that whole division thing the last 2 weeks, or the last week especially. Yeah, that's worked.
Cleveland, one more, they're in. I think they could go 1-2 the rest of the way and get in. And they've got the Texans, Jets, and Bengals to finish out their season.
Well, should beat the Jets. That should be the one. Will that be enough? Think about it, though. You lose to Houston, that could be a tiebreaker. Could be, where maybe the Texans get in, who right now they're out. Houston's the 8, Buffalo's the 9 right now. They're out in the AFC. Cincy and Indy are the 8-6 teams that would be in today. New Orleans is the 7-7 team who's out in the NFC. Seattle, with a win tonight, gets to 7-7, and then they get a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the way. But Seattle would also be out because, remember, the Rams swept them. Rams are the 7th seed in the NFC. So Seattle's got a Rams problem when it comes to tiebreakers. Got to admit, this end of the NFL season, this is exciting.
Man, there's a lot of different. I mean, you're doing that. My head's spinning with all the different scenarios that are out there.
We got teams that right now are winning tiebreakers for first place. And if they lose one wrong game, they could be out completely, like Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. And then here's the Dolphins. Could you imagine the Dolphins win the next 2 weeks, and yet they're playing the Bills? And if they lose to the Bills, they'll probably get Buffalo in the playoffs. They may have to play them the very next week in a 2-7 or 3-6 matchup. Congratulations. You've had the best regular season that you've had in 30 years. Your reward? Play the Bills,
who have already beat you twice this year.
They're 10-4. I mean, come on. If we had said to a Dolphin fan at the beginning of the season, hey, heading into Christmas Eve, 10-4, you take it?
10-4, and Tua will start every game.
Right. Tua's healthy. Christmas Eve's his 15th consecutive start. What do you say?
I mean, he's going to hit the over. Our number, he's hit the over.
Well, Mark, think about it. Right now, Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, Jacksonville are the top 4 seeds. What's the one thing all 4 teams have in common?
Quarterback play. The
Quarterbacks
same one
have
the
started
whole year.
every game.
Even though
Now-
Trevor Lawrence shouldn't have started against Cleveland 2 weeks ago.
Correct. The wild cards are Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. What's the one thing they have in common?
All playing backups.
I mean, you can do this with the first 5 teams in the NFC, by the way. San Francisco, Philadelphia, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Dallas. I mean, did I miss something? Their quarterbacks have all started every game,
Yep.
right? Then you start getting into Minnesota, the Rams. I do think Stafford started every game. He got banged up.
He got banged up. Did he miss one start?
Let me look that up.
Because it's the same thing with Carr and the Saints. Like, Carr's been banged up, but I don't think he missed a start.
I thought Carr missed one as well.
Okay. Jameis started a game? I thought he just came in relief. But, I mean, it's pretty easy here. Keep your quarterback healthy. If you're a decent team and you keep your quarterback healthy, that goes a long way in 2023.
Especially when we're at how many quarterbacks that have played? After
Oh.
Easton Stick coming in and starting, that brings the number of starters up one more.
Well, we're in the mid-50s in terms of the number of quarterbacks that have actually played a game this year.
Right.
But we're getting to the point in which, the number of guys who have started games is, whew. So
It's got to be in the 40s.
it is. It is.
Because some teams have started 3 guys by now already.
Hell, I think the Vikings, technically, isn't it 4? Because didn't they start the rookie from BYU the one game that Dobbs came in and relieved them? Vikings have started 4 quarterbacks. Nick Mullins on Saturday was the 4th quarterback that they've started.
Just for the Vikings.
Right. And they're the 6th seed. Yeah.
That's just amazing. But you're right in just running that little exercise. The teams that are on top have all had one thing in common. Consistent quarterback play from the get-go.
Every single division leader I think it's in the whole league, their quarterback hasn't missed a game.
Hurts is questionable tonight. Sickness. I think most everybody thinks he'll load up on the chicken soup and give it a go.
Can you imagine the Philly fans if he sat out a game because he's sick?
I don't think that Philly fans will question Jalen Hurts' character and toughness.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't. I think he's earned the wow, he must really be sick card. I do. I think they'll be surprised, like, wow, how sick do you have to be to not play? But I think they'll go, wow, he must have been pretty sick.
That's their guy. I'm with David there. I think that he's earned a level of trust with that fan base that others have not that have played there. No doubt. Miller and Moulton. Along the network, we thank you so much for listening. In the 239, the bonus hour brought to you by Jason and Todd of the Diamond District is next.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail
Have a
East.
Molly Christmas, a Molly made Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning preferences. Molly Maid is proud to provide thousands of families across the country with industry-leading services tailored to their specific needs. Call Molly Maid today at 239-774-5839. That's 239-774-5839 or online at mollymaid.com/FTMYERS. You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
All right, Boz, let's sell some merch, okay? We got something.
I got 3 off the beaten path things.
Let's go off the beaten path.
Well, at least 2. I may have forgotten the third.
Here we go.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the Diamond District bonus hour. This is a big week for you and Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. You know the drill. Come on now. Big fella's starting to run sprints, or at least jog slowly on the warning track in a spring training game. He's getting ready for the opener, which for him is a week from today. Come on now. May want to visit Jason and Todd. All right. Just saying. At the Diamond District. Right, Mark?
Absolutely. When your wife announces to you that instead of not buying gifts the way you had intended and getting just one little thing for each other, and she says she spent all the money that she spent on you, go to the Diamond District so you at least don't look like a fool on Christmas morning in front of your mother-in-law.
Wow, Mark, that's very specific. It sounds like somebody you know, maybe. You
Somebody I resemble.
You saying that for a friend, are you?
Yep, just a friend.
Mark, Sports Illustrated, A, it used to be a popular magazine. B, when we had popular magazines. And C, they used to have a segment every week, like this week's Sign of the Apocalypse. Well, depending on your point of view, you either think this is the good or this is the ugly in Mark Miller's upcoming Good, Bad, and Ugly. Did you see the news that the city of Fort Lauderdale announced over the weekend?
I did not.
The world's first pickleball stadium. The first dedicated pickleball stadium. They'll also have a fitness and recovery center. Do you have to recover from playing pickleball? Anyway, 43.
I already know a buddy who's a career-ending pickleball injury.
Wait, what?
He's old.
Well,
he was one injury away from any injury being a career-ending injury, and his pickleball career is done because he hurt something playing pickleball. I mean, he's also in his late 60s.
He suffered a career-ending pickleball injury?
David, he's in his late 60s. He could have suffered that same injury walking to the refrigerator, getting an apple.
I was going to say, Mark, listen, I hate the insurance companies, okay, and what they're doing to America and how they say no to every single thing that we claim when there are legitimate claims. But I got to admit, this might be the one time if I was the person working for the insurance company on the other end of the phone and your buddy called in and he said it's a pickleball injury, I'd yeah, it's rejected. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Sorry. Better luck with the next guy or gal. 43 professional courts, Mark. 14 weatherproof courts and a pro shop. The world's first pickleball stadium. Sponsored by the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. That's an inside joke. He's been shoving pickleball down our throats for the last year. Every time ESPN televises a pickleball thing, he sends us both texts going, see, pickleball, ESPN. So it's the Michael F. Hornung Pickleball Center in Fort Lauderdale. even though his law firm's in Fort Myers. It's for him. It's to be
Tell you what,
completed.
if he's sponsoring that, wait till you get my next sponsorship package, Ornan. You're not paying enough for this show. I'm telling you that right now.
By the way, when you go to Todd and Jason this week and you end up buying that Christmas gift that your wife sandbagged into you,
I'm bringing a
that you have to
contract
buy,
with you.
bring a contract. Exactly. So here you go. You guys are paying for this too. The Pickleball Center, the professional stadium, Mark, 43 courts, by the way. This is like bigger than the USTA Center, for goodness sakes. Set to be complete
More
sometime
popular
next
than
year.
tennis. Don't kid yourself.
I-
You can say all you want, and we can bash pickleball. It is a far more popular sport than tennis, and it ain't close.
Mark, I moved into a condominium for the first time in my life, and HOAs, the security gate and everything, and they had 4 tennis courts when I moved in, and within 8 months half the courts were gone, and they made 4 pickleball courts out of it.
Yes. That's what's happening.
So
we have where I live, we have 2 pickleball courts and I think 4 tennis courts. No one ever plays tennis. The tennis courts sit empty all day, every day, while I hear the constant racket from the pickleball court. And it is racket. It's a noisy game.
So Victor Hovland gave an interview over the weekend. Did you see it?
I did not.
Did you hear about it?
Actually, I did not.
So no excerpts, nothing. All right, good.
Nope.
I like it when one of us brings up something that the other's like, huh, no, tell me more. So this just in Hovland, he's pretty good.
Yes, he is.
Top 10 player in the world, young. He's got charisma. As that 20th century entertainer David Lee Roth once said. So he was asked about, hey, there's been a lot of rumors with you and LIV. And are you going to go to LIV? And he said, I doubt that. All right. But then he was asked, about LIV and the future of golf. And he said, well, first off, a big reason why I'm not going to go to the LIV is I don't think I'd become a better golfer or as good a golfer going to LIV. He goes, just the whole cut thing. He goes, I think I wouldn't be as sharp if I played on the LIV versus playing in the tours that I play in now. Okay. He says, but I can't blame people who make that decision. We'll have to try to make an arrangement in the end. We'll see. Okay. But then he opened up. It would be a bit silly to criticize the players for leaving. After all, you only hear one angle in the media, and there are quite a few different parts happening at the same time here. I totally understand why he left. First off, that's a lot of money. And at least when the management of the PGA Tour has done such a bad job. Just to be clear, I'm not complaining about the position I'm in, and I'm very grateful for everything. But management has not done a good job. They almost see the players as labor and not as part of the members. After all, we are the PGA Tour. Without the players, there's nothing. When you get to see what happens behind closed doors, how the management actually makes decisions, which are not in the players' best interests, but best for themselves and what they think is best, they're businessmen who say, no, it should look like this and that. There's a great deal of arrogance behind it all. So Hovland, and there's much more to this, but Victor Hovland basically said, yeah, I don't blame John Rahm at all. It's just not my cup of tea. But let me tell you something. What we got going on here in the PGA Tour behind the scenes is a disaster.
Now, it looks as if they found some money here in the last few days on the PGA Tour, that they've done their deal with the Strategic Sports Group,
which are a bunch of professional sports owners. The guy Josh Harris, right, who owns the Commanders, John Henry and the Red Sox.
Yep.
And there's a couple others, right?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, we can end when this happens, it's no longer a not-for-profit. I mean, they're investing their money to make money on the PGA Tour.
Absolutely.
And the tour has said, by the way, if we go through with this, this is now a for-profit enterprise, which it's always been a joke that it was a not-for-profit. Of course it was a for-profit enterprise.
Yeah, how they were able to disguise this as a 501c for as long as they have, in and of itself, to me, a whole nother story.
Well, it's corrupt. I mean, let's face it. The rich and the powerful in a lot of industries have put tax laws and what have you to protect themselves in this instance. I mean, we all know. I mean, churches, the PGA Tour. I mean, come on, they all should be paying taxes. But that's for a different show.
Hello? Is this on? Did you just say that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Just
time to give the text line right now. That's 21,000.
Mark Miller going, everybody better make sure it's directed at David Moulton, Oulton. And believe me, I'm not against the rich and the powerful. Just when they, use their rich and power to, protect themselves. That's all. And in this case, the PGA Tour has not been a not-for-profit. And by the way, you are also big on the whole 301,
Oh, no. The bowl games are all a joke. It's why I want a bowl game for myself. It's why I want the Hoffman Company Bowl, the Hertz Bowl, whatever I end up bringing to Southwest Florida and run that bowl with my bad jacket is going to be a 501c. Don't kid yourself.
The Arthrex Bowl?
That's fine too. Yeah.
Right.
Whoever's
Totally.
ready to step up and be a title sponsor.
The Diamond District?
They're not big enough. I wish they were. We might go to them. We might go to them for the gift bags.
I'll tell you what, though, I could see Todd and Jason sponsoring the halftime entertainment, kick the field goal, win a diamond. That I could see.
Absolutely. And then we could put maybe little jewelry in every bag, little gifts, bring back to mom, little pendant to bring back to mom.
Right. That I could see. All right. Back to the,
back to reality.
PGA Tour. So anyway, it's now going to be a for-profit enterprise. But Mark, once again, if it's 3 or 4 billion from the Saudis or 3 or 4 billion from these American owners, if you will, Mark, the people ponying up the money, what's the one condition upon ponying up the money?
Have a say.
No, not a say. No. Come on now.
Well, they're going to get a seat at the table. They're going to be part of making the. In fact, they may have the seat at the table, David.
There you go. Now we're talking. It's like that Colin Cowherd's talk show. His set is elevated. His guests sit like 4 feet below him. Okay. He looks like a crown prince. Okay. Talking to his, flock. That's what I think. Once you pony up 3-4 billion, Mark, your seat's higher than mine. It's bigger too.
David, when you're back in the studio in the beginning of January, I'm going to elevate your chair.
No, why? I haven't contributed $3-4 to this show. No, Mark's chair should tower over me. He's selling the advertising. He should get the big cushion and the big chair.
Speaking of which, there are plenty of slots available for you, Mr. Advertiser. We'll name a bowl game after you.
Because here's the secret to Miller and Moulton. We've been operating as a not-for-profit, but we're actually a for-profit enterprise.
Well, we're aspiring, David. We're aspiring to be a for-profit enterprise.
Right.
That's who we are, Miller and Moulton.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Myers.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
According to Pewter Report, Devin White was benched and then he wouldn't play.
So he's got an attitude?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember, this has gone on going back to training camp and the off season. You know, when he didn't get the contract extension, he said he wanted to be traded. And then they had a talk with him. And then he said, you know what, you're right. And he got on board. And tell you what, that's not a smart move when you're entering free agency. He'll still get paid, though. Just not as much as he was thinking. It probably ends his tenure in Tampa, though.
Yeah, he probably is not a Todd Bowles guy. And maybe he's just trying to stick it to them. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I got to admit, I mean, I'd be curious if I was Devin White, too. I mean, wait, you're benching me for who? But, hey, they won without him.
Just
KJ Britt is who they benched him for the record.
I know. I don't know
Another
about that
day
one.
in the TV show. More drama.
See, now you're getting the idea. Now you're getting the idea. But tell you what, if they're moving on with KJ Britt, he was a 5th round pick 3 years ago. So he signed a 4-year contract. So he's entering the final year of his contract next year. That means they got to take care of him this offseason, which I would think they'd want to do because I don't know how much longer Levante David's going to be playing at a high level either.
Kevin Kisner to serve as NBC sports analyst for 2 early PGA Tour events.
Well, it's funny. I had heard Jeff Ogilvy.
Golf Week just put this out on Twitter. That's Kevin Kisner to serve as NBC analyst for 2 early events on tour season.
By the way, he fell off the face of the earth. Did he get hurt? Remember when Kevin Kisner was a top 30, 40 player in the world? Don't you find it interesting they didn't give the gig to Justin Leonard?
Yes. Very much so.
I thought he's a major.
I thought
he's
that's
a major champion. You know, Ryder Cup
he's a
hero.
US hero. I mean, he is a Ryder Cup hero. That you would think that carries, and I don't think he does a bad job.
No, I mean he's a blank of a person, but he's total fraud. But hopefully he's a little different now that he can't play golf anymore.
Here we go.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes after the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap today was the day when. It's all coming up in a little more than 15 minutes' time. We'll make our picks on Monday Night Football, although I made mine on Friday, and I'm not going to change now. We were just talking a little bit of golf with Victor Hovland's comments in which he said, yeah, I'm not going to LIV, but let me tell you, it's not because the PGA Tour is a well-run organization and because I like the guys running it. Let me tell you.
It is wild how there's nobody on the PGA Tour who is supportive of the PGA Tour right now. The top guys are all pissed. The rank and file are pissed. Maybe the only guys that are happy are the 5 guys that got their cards because they actually allowed a couple of Q School guys to actually obtain a PGA Tour card for finishing the top 5 at Q School. Maybe they like the tour right now, but that's about it, David.
Well, and also Rahm's leaving, opened up a spot for a guy who was who was 126. It got him in at 125. Now all of a sudden he's got his tour card for the year. It moved other people up on other lists. It moved the guy who was 51 up to 50, and top 50 gets you in all those elevated big money events.
Right.
So
he likes John Rahm. Does he like the tour?
Right. No, not necessarily. But also, it's kind of like going from a group of 5 to a Power 5 conference, though, overnight. Basically, there's 2 or 3 golfers out there who, because of John Rahm, were UCF 3 years ago and now UCF today.
It's the exact analogy I had in my head. Well done, David.
But you found a little golf tidbit there during the break.
Yeah, Kevin Kisner is going to be the new, at least for 2 events. I don't know if he's getting the tryout. I don't know how this is working, but they're giving him the main analyst gig on NBC.
Kevin Kisner. Huh. First off, usually when you do that gig, that means you're done playing. I didn't realize Kevin Kisner was done playing. Is Kisner 40? I mean, it wasn't that long ago. He was the top 30 player in the world.
He will be 40 in February.
Huh. Also, isn't it interesting to you they have not promoted Justin Leonard?
I'm stunned. I thought that was the easy transition for them. He's won a major. He's a Ryder Cup hero.
Right, even though he was a bum in just about every other match he played, and he was 4 down at the turn against Olafable. But right, he had 9 great holes, and it changed his career.
One of the most memorable Ryder Cup moments, of our lifetime, David.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm trying to think of one that's bigger in my life.
Could argue longer missing the 5-footer at.
Yeah, but that's not something that, it's when you say Justin Leonard Ryder Cup, people can
yeah,
remember exactly what
right.
happened.
No, they don't think about him winning the PGA. No. They think about him running around. Where was that? Brookline? Yeah. But I'm surprised they haven't promoted Leonard or gone within the Golf Channel family because NBC owns it. Like David Duval, actually. I'd be very good because David Duval has no problem. He's never had any problem saying what was on his mind. I actually think David Duval would be a lot like Johnny Miller. Not quite as harsh, but I actually think he would have said the same things. Because at least that's how I view him when he does Golf Channel commentary. He certainly has no
He's
trouble
got
letting
the
Brandel Champlin know
enthusiasm
what he feels about him.
of a sloth, though.
I understand, but it's golf.
I understand, but there's got to be at least, I mean, Justin Leonard to me brings some oomph when he does it.
All right.
Duval's voice is almost silent when he's speaking.
Well, we could work on him with that, right? Voice coach, consultant. Mark, industry is big on consultants. But I find it interesting. They had no problems getting rid of our buddy Zinger, yet apparently they have no idea who to replace him with. Huh. Interesting. It's usually not how organizations are run, at least not good ones.
Well, it's because when they offer someone a massive pay cut, they just assume they're going to take it these days.
Miller and Moulton. Mark Miller's on the record. Dolphins are going to win the AFC East. In fact, they're going to do it before they play Buffalo. See, here's my take. I think they're going to win the AFC East, but they're going to have to beat the Bills to do it.
And you think they do it?
I do. I think it's time. Here's the deal. Do you believe offense or defense wins? This time of year, what do you think?
David, I'm not copying out, but where's the game being played?
Game's in Miami.
No, I know, but that's to me the answer of that. So offense, because the game's in Miami.
Okay. Yards per game. Do you know where the Dolphins rank?
First.
Thank you. Yards per play. Second.
I believe they're second. Okay.
Yeah. Rushing yards per game.
First.
Second. Passing yards per game.
First.
There you go. Rushing yards per play.
Back to first again?
Yeah. And passing yards per play. Second.
Okay.
Now let's talk defense. You had a choice right now. Bills defense, Dolphins defense. Which one are you taking? We all know the injuries on both sides, the whole deal. Jalen Phillips on the one side, Milano on the other. All right. Bills played yesterday without Hyde.
I'm going to take the Dolphins because I like their corners better.
There you go. Okay. Now, Josh Allen's better than Tua, and an elite quarterback can take all
Hill's
this.
better than Diggs.
But Tyreek Hill this year is better than Stephon Diggs.
And Waddle's
Absolutely.
better than Gabe Davis, whoever you want to say their two is.
Right.
And Mozart's playing better despite how well Cook was yesterday. Mozart's better.
By the way, what is up with Sean McDermott? Pardon my French, what a butt smoocher of a head coach. Giving out game balls yesterday. Gives one to Josh Allen. Did you not watch the game that the guy he handed the ball off to played? I mean, what are you doing that to keep your job? You need a good reference at the end of the year? What the heck?
Come on, David. He swallowed his pride. He handed it off. Give him the game ball. I'm being sarcastic, of course. Egregious.
What the heck? How many Cook have? Every time I watched him run, I thought he was getting
74 or something like that. They ran for over 200. I think they ran for 260 something in the game.
On the Dallas defense.
And Allen only ran for 24 yards. So it wasn't like these were quarterback runs. I mean, they ran 39 times with running backs.
66. Right.
39 times they gave the ball to the running backs.
Yeah. 6.7 yards a carry. Yeah. And you give the quarterback the game ball? Come on, man. You already paid him. He's already got other game balls. Come on now. But anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to take Miami. Going to take Miami. Listen now, Mark, if not now, when? I mean, honestly. Although there's a lot out there about the Dolphins and where they are with the cap. There are certain teams like the Chargers are in a really bad cap spot. Their contracts are much tougher to turn around than the Dolphins. The Dolphins are fine against the cap. A little bit of maneuvering, they'll be fine. They really will be. Don't believe that this is the Dolphins window only. They've got at least next year, maybe even 2025. Don't worry.
Do you think that cap will keep anybody from taking the Chargers job?
No. By the way, the cap's going up 15 million, 240. It came out over the weekend. It's going up 14 million, 226 to or 16 to 240. Hell no. Justin Herbert's there. No. Miller and Moulton.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to shop with the best. And the mall is not the place to be. Here are my friends, Jason and Todd with the Diamond District.
Take a stroll in the mall, hop into a few joy stores, and you'll soon discover you're in the wrong place. Rings begin to look all alike. You're not finding GIA certified diamonds. You quickly realize you know more than a salesperson helping you, and all the same financing gets pushed on you.
Visit Jason and me, and you'll find America's top bridal designers dealing exclusively with the Diamond District. You'll find the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds, all priced 8 to 10% over cost. You'll find educated sales consultants who have many
Oh my
years
God.
and are not paid commissions.
And you'll find Todd and me in the store nearly every day, wanting to shake your hand and welcome you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Did you see that Eric Montross died?
No.
Yeah, died apparently yesterday. They announced it this morning. 52. Got to admit, no one's paying attention except for Trent. But the start of the college basketball season has been pretty good.
Arizona Purdue is a good game over the weekend.
It was. Kentucky Carolina was a good game.
That UConn just whooped Gonzaga.
Got this just in.
They're good.
They're good. Lost 3 starters and they're good.
Kentucky just beat North Carolina over the weekend.
Yeah. After losing at home to whoever the heck they lost to, a directional school.
I saw it because Adam's Kentucky guy.
Right.
Like, well, it must have been a good weekend for you. And all of a sudden, Ryan Beasley's wife, oh, it was a terrible weekend. And I wanted to go, do you really think I care? Like, I literally wanted to go, do you think a bad weekend for the Beasleys is going to affect me in any way but a positive? I want them to lose every game they play from now until the rest of time. Like, know your audience.
Michigan, go blue. You know what? Let's just say you're right. Do you think an announcer can bring a younger audience to golf?
No.
See, I think only a golfer can bring a younger audience to golf. I don't think you're wrong, by the way, but I just think their thinking would be wrong. Adam, I think he is. I do think he needs to be taught a little bit about game management, but hey, it's still dark here. 42.
Time's your meeting?
Hour and 20 minutes. It's almost always an hour after our show.
Gotcha.
So wherever time zone I'm in, I just know.
Unless you're in the East and then it's at 10, then you got to run right down there.
Sometimes it's at 10, but they've even been trying to hold it at 11. But
for you?
No. They serve breakfast now outside the meeting room. There's food there for the hour leading up to the meeting.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes before the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap today was the day when it's all coming up. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. But that's from 6 to 9. This 9 to 10 thing, this is the Diamond District bonus hour. It's just for our loyal, longtime audience of the 239, and we are very thankful and grateful for you.
And if you, like me, need to make a trip to the Diamond District this week,
because you got sandbagged,
or because you're just a great husband, boyfriend, whatever, father, buying something for your daughter, there are plenty of reasons to go see Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. No better time of year than to do it right now. Obviously, the best prices, the best staff, and unbelievable deals going on. So check out Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Tell them Miller and Moulton sent you.
Or you could be Mark, and you and your wife came to an agreement as to how much you were going to spend on each other this Christmas, and she vaulted way over the line.
Times 5.
And now he's stuck.
Times 5. Not times 1, not times 2, times 5.
Was it a calculated move by your wife, or is she just genuinely, she wanted to do something nice for you?
If she would have said it the way that I wanted to hear it, I heard it as you're screwed, go buy stuff. She gave you, no, I'm fine. I don't need anything. Right. We're celebrating Christmas at her mom's.
That in and of itself is a gift.
When you're married, you alternate. It's just, it's honestly, it's like back in the day in baseball, even years, National League, odd years, American League.
But when my wife told me over the weekend, because I'm supposed to go to the Steeler and Bengal game next weekend, and the scheduled forecast has changed a little bit. When I looked, it was supposed to be 44 degrees and rain on Saturday. And my wife literally said, that's the reason I moved from there. Why the hell are we going there for Christmas?
And
then?
you get to watch Jake Browning versus Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh,
Maybe
no, I don't
Mason
think
Rudolph.
so. Exactly. Might be Jake Browning against Mason Rudolph.
Mark, that's going to be brutal.
She went ×5 on the gift that we're opening at her house in front of her mother. I am so screwed.
Total sandbag job. Okay, that's like finding out on the first tee. Hold on, your handicap's a what? It is. Oh, take a look. Look it up. It's posted on the board. You sandbagger. Yep. So anyway.
Who knew my wife was so close to Mearsman? That's just a joke for those that play golf with me.
So if your wife is like Mark's wife, go visit Jason and Todd and the folks at the Diamond District. Some sad news that we just found out about in the last few minutes. If you're mostly a college basketball fan, because his college career was, he was better in college than he was in the NBA, but they called him Big E in North Carolina. Eric Montross has passed away. A 9-month battle with cancer at the age of 52.
Tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Probably to the masses, and Trent, this was before your time, but the Duke game where he got cut, right, by the eye, going to the basket, and he's at the free throw line shooting free throws, and he's got the blood dripping down from his left, I think it was his left eye. Playing a Duke Carolina game, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. This is how we play this game.
Drew blood going to the lane. That'll be a 2-shot foul.
Right. And this was before, oh no, we got to wipe the blood off. Get the towel out here. No. That's a fighter in the middle of the round. He's bleeding. Yeah. Montross shooting free throws with blood dripping from his eye.
It's time for someone to take back this segment, if for no other reason than to stop David from talking about Meghan and Harry. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
1892, the Nutcracker premieres in St. Petersburg. Not where the Rays play. Russia.
I was going to say.
The 18th Amendment was ratified today in 1917. You'd know it as Prohibition. 1949, driving rain drove the field to mud, but the Eagles beat the Rams 14-0 for the NFL championship.
Norm Van Brocklin? I think so.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. 1963, the movie The Pink Panther premieres. 1964, the cartoon The Pink Panther premieres. Equally great.
Is Peter Sellers Pink Panther?
Yeah.
That's man. That is the first funny thing that I ever remembered growing up.
Really?
Yes. That if you asked me to, the first time I saw it, that's like the first thing that I really laughed hard at was Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther that I remember anyway.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas first aired today on CBS in 1966. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang premiered today in 1968. I just wanted to make sure I could say that without saying it incorrectly on the air.
Glad you paused.
Thank you.
It's important to get the first one right, because if you get that wrong, you're likely going to get the second one wrong too.
And you know how many people in their car are saying it the way we're thinking it right now?
And they're screwing it up. They're going, good thing I don't have a show. Damn.
A Star is Born, the Streisand-Christofferson version, was released today in 1976. Avatar was released in 2009. And it was a year ago that Argentina won the World Cup, winning in penalties.
That was a great game.
That was a year ago?
Yeah.
Makes sense, but damn.
Crazy, isn't it?
I mean, hell, now he's playing in the MLS.
That's crazy.
I was going to say.
Franz Ferdinand, Joseph Stalin, Ty Cobb, Betty Grable, Gene Shue, Ray Liotta, and rapper DMX, all born today.
Keith Richards is 80. Everybody lost that bet.
Oh my goodness. Hell.
Him and Ozzy Osbourne.
We've been doubling down every year for 20 plus years.
Steven Spielberg, 77. Brad Pitt and Charles Oakley are each 60. Wrestler Steve Austin's 59. And Billy English, a very talented singer, is 22 years old today. What did I miss, David?
Well, a few things. So, did you have the Mayflower in 1620 today?
No, I had that last week.
Well, yeah, but it got somewhere else. Today, they say it got to Plymouth Harbor. Did it get somewhere else last week?
Well, it was Plymouth Bay,
Something.
but
All right. 1961. The Lion Sleeps Tonight reaches number 1. Name the group. This is the 1961. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. The Tokens.
yeah, I'd have been here all day with that one.
Yeah, I would have too if I didn't have it in front of me. And it says here on this day in 1932, the first NFL playoff game played indoors. The Bears defeated the Portsmouth Spartans.
The Lions.
Yeah. Where did they play it? Does it say?
Because of frigid weather and waist-deep snow, it was supposed to be at Wrigley Field. They moved it to Chicago Stadium where the Blackhawks played.
Talk about tight corners.
And since the field obviously couldn't be regulation size, the game was played on a field 60 yards long with constricted end zones. The field was covered with 400 tons of dirt from a recent circus. Yeah, but the Bears are like Alabama football. They'll claim that championship. That
Damn
sucker
right they will.
counts.
Damn right they will.
12,000 fans, by the way, watch the game. And you'll love this. By mutual agreement, neither team attempted a field goal. When teams crossed midfield, the ball was moved back 20 yards. Only one punt got returned during the game. All the other punts landed in the stands. One struck an organist in the stands. They kicked off from the 10.
Well, that Chicago Stadium organ. That was an organ.
That was.
You've heard folks elsewhere mock Florida is gonna Florida. Well, Mark Miller sees it differently. He calls it the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
We go to Kentucky. And Tanya Hammonds sent her husband to buy her preferred scratch-off tickets at the Circle K. The husband screwed it up. Bought the wrong tickets. Bought the ones that were shelved right next to the tickets that she wanted. After yelling at her husband for a while, she decided she would keep the tickets. And she won 50 grand on one of them.
There you go.
The only thing I don't like about this is that before she scratched the numbers, she scratched the barcode and scanned it. She said it saw $50,000. She thought the app was malfunctioning, then scratched off all 30 spots to reveal her winning numbers. How's it? I mean, if it's a scratcher, scratch the damn thing.
Right.
For the bad, we go to Georgia, where a group of thieves had an unexpected thing happen when they went to a check cashing place to rob it. They left the getaway car out front. While they were in robbing the check cashing store, someone stole their getaway car. Local police suspect the getaway car might have been a stolen vehicle in the first place, but the three armed robbers were easily apprehended when they walked out of the check cashing place without a car to leave in. Finally, the ugly will come back to Florida and Kissimmee, where when the deadline passed, it was over. A $44 million lotto ticket that was sold went unclaimed.
Can somebody help me out? why does there have to be a limit on those things? Like, there's not a limit on a gift card, correct? Like, places used to be able to, they tried to put a limit. You had to use it by such and such a date, but basically it was determined legally that no, the gift card's
No,
good forever.
right.
Well, why in the world is there a limit on the lottery winnings?
Or an expiration date, you mean? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
why?
But since the 80s, there have been 30 jackpots that have gone unclaimed. 30.
Wow. 44 million?
$44 million.
Golly.
And
That's
that,
upsetting.
David, is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, December the 18th, 2023.
There are 11 games in the NBA tonight, including the Heat hosting the T-Wolves. That's your Western Conference leading Minnesota Timberwolves. 5 games in the NHL. Panthers in Calgary at 9:30. Heat game, by the way, 7:30. Listen, this is a small thing, but if you're the NHL and you're doing the schedule, don't you have to check the NFL schedule? I mean, no, seriously. I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, do you really want to put your team that's playing up against your NFL team, home or away? Because ideally, don't you want them to watch? I mean, how many Kraken fans in Seattle tonight are going to watch the Kraken in Dallas? Because the Seahawks are playing the Eagles. I mean, if you're the NHL, don't you have to go, we can't schedule this game Monday night. The Seahawks are playing. No?
I'm
Flex
with
it.
you.
They should flex it.
College hoops today. Jacksonville's playing Louisiana Monroe at 11:30 in the morning in Jacksonville. But UCF's hosting Maine at 7 o'clock tonight. UCF a 15.5-point favorite. Your Spartans, by the way, taking on Greg Campy there in Oakland. Izzo playing his buddy tonight, Big Ten Network, 7 o'clock. Sparty's a 16.5-point favorite. I'll take Oakland to the points right now. A, you guys played out of your mind over the weekend. And B, Campy always plays his buddy tough.
And
never beaten them, though.
And David, what he joked with the flex, but your Monday night game was flex. This was supposed to be yesterday.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I take back everything I said, NHL.
Never mind.
You did schedule the Kraken away from the Seahawks. And Monday Night Football screwed you. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
It's not Rosanna Dannett, but it's Gilda Radner's other character that she played on Weekend Update.
Never mind. You're right. I was supposed to be in New England tonight.
I hate it when that happens.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm that wife with the damn husband in the scratch off. Honey, you're an idiot. Hey, I just won 50 grand.
Have a Molly Christmas, a Molly made Christmas. Give your family a gift of a clean house. When you're looking for professional house cleaning services, you want to make sure that you find a team that can accommodate your budget, schedule, and cleaning